Good evening, one and all. A warm welcome to all who joined us and TiE University Grand Finale. So, a roller coaster journey from last 3 months, and there are a lot of effort has gone behind that, both from TiE part as well as from the participant part as well. 3 months from December till now, there are quite a journey which we'll now show to that. So before that, I would like to welcome one and all this evening for Grand Finale and also for Founder Series, where we'll be having Srinivas with us here today to share his entrepreneurial journey with us. So first, I'd like to welcome all the juries from TiE and as well as from Bangalore, Ajit, Pawan, and Anant Bhatt with us. Thank you for your time today. And also we have Pradeep from TiE Coimbatore and as well as the representing TiE Global University representation. So a warm welcome, Pradeep, to joining us from all the way. I welcome all the charter members, associate members, heads of the institution, delegates, and also supporting hands, those who directly, indirectly, who helped us to deliver this program, and specifically IKP KTech team, Raghunandan's team, helped us from the beginning to promote it and reach out to a lot of participants across Karnataka. So because TiE Mysuru is the only chapter in Karnataka participating in TiE University competition and representing the whole Karnataka itself. So in that way, thank you Raghu and his team from IKP. And nevertheless, all the participants, not only the finalists, but all the semi-finalists and also before that. So we have received 100 plus applications, and there is a journey, and most of them has been gone through this from last 3 months. And we have seen that their energy level and then commitment towards what they are trying to achieve it. So once again, warm welcome to all the participants for grand finale of TiE University PitchFest. So let me give a glimpse of what has happened from last 3 months in a quick nutshell, and how we have been progressed with this. So that's the numbers, you can see that. So nearly 100 plus applications, total numbers of nearly 11 districts. There are women-specific startups, more than 15, and total number of students nearly 250 plus, and the number of institutions participated and 50. That is at TiE Mysuru level, and if I give them a global level, we have 1,384 team across 40 plus countries, and nearly 3,000 plus students has participated. That's the one of the greatest achievement of this TiE Global University pitch. And what we got is how did we do this? We are just anchored it. Lot of support from institution. So we have done offline campus drive in most of the institution, and digital campaigning, and as well as partner reach out support system from across the institutions. So there are so many things have been done. So, and if you look at the numbers itself, it tells that so many people have participated, and then helps us in the back to reach today where we are in terms of delivering the grand finale for the one last go. There are 7 plus contact sessions for the participant, and 30 plus reviewers going through all the 100 applications, and 20 plus mentors to mentor them throughout the journey. And even today, the last leg of that, so mentors have been consistently helping all the team in terms of move their level of understanding of the business, what they are heading towards that. And there are 5 plus expert workshops and 3 months and top 20 teams. Now we are the last leg. What else we have done? Semi-finals just 10 days back. There are 15 jurors, and there are 20 plus teams and then observers. So 2 days of intense review sessions, and now another after 10 days we are here in terms of delivering the one last presentation. And thanks to all the mentors and juries. I think without the support, I think it would have been achieved what we have done so far, irrespective of all the tools, techniques, what we have been built around. And but the juries and then the mentors, that's the backbone of this entire event so far. Yes, this is the the final leg for TiE Mysuru, but not for the participant. The journey of the participant will continue with the TiE as well as onwards with the TiE global team as well. So the 3 teams from today potentially have the opportunity to take part in global competition, so which will continue for next 3 months as well. And these top 5 teams have been qualified from last 3 months with the rigorous processes, reviews, and going through the challenges which we have seen that. And I congratulate all the team today. So some of them come from far away. So I welcome once again all of you, and then we'll kickstart in a few minutes. So before that, I request our current president, Mr. Srinivas Vardarajan, for the opening remark. Sorry, sir, one more thing. So what is that? Sorry for that. What is that offerings for all the teams? I think I just missed out a couple of slides here. Today we are having a cash prize for the winner for 75,000. 2 runners-up will back 25,000 rupees each, and continuous workshops and mentorship support until the global pitch event concludes. And incubation facility at TiE Innovation. So from the Raghu and team, participation in accelerator program to fast track the growth, seed fund, and as well as grant if they are eligible to qualify. So there are many schemes which is available through steps. It is also one of the things we are offering through this platform. So that's the major offering. And I'll over to Sudhanva sir. Thank you.
Good afternoon, good evening to all of you. It's not always easy to do a presidential address after a very detailed welcome address. So I don't envy myself for that. But it's good that I can talk a little bit about TiE Mysuru and the journey so far. For some of you who have come from Bangalore and the participants for the pitch event today, and for Srini's information. I've been an entrepreneur in Mysore for over 20 years. I never imagined at that point in time that the entrepreneurial ecosystem in Mysuru, the startup ecosystem in Mysuru will be so bright, so talented, and there will be a forum like TiE in Mysuru, which will attract so much of talent and so much of attention. So it's great to see that happen in my own lifetime and my own journey as an entrepreneur. Thanks to Sid, who's away in Atlanta. He kind of seeded this idea of starting a TiE chapter in Mysuru, and then worked closely with Sanjay. I'm not sure he's here today. And then Ajit had the difficult task of running TiE Mysuru through the pandemic time, but did a fantastic job. You're an inspiration to all of us. As I've always said, it's not easy to live up to the benchmark that you've set. Even though we had to do most of the events virtually, the TiECon was a fantastic finale, which was a hybrid, and on the day when we could meet each other, it was actually a full house at Radisson Blu, probably 500 people. Now that was a fantastic start, and the new team and me having taken over from president, as president, we would like to keep the momentum going with high quality programs, fostering entrepreneurship, seeing more entrepreneurship developed out of Mysore, the startup ecosystem in Mysore becoming that much more vibrant. It's also important, I guess, that we keep a strong connect with other chapters, TiE chapters. I know we have a representative from Bangalore, and from Coimbatore and Bangalore as well. We hope to do more of that. It's also nice to see the winners of the PitchFest from Mysuru of last year, Kushal and Komala, here and going to play an active role in running this event. Thank you for that. And nice to see all the participants for today's PitchFest. Wish them all the very best, and I hope one team will make it to the global finals and make us all proud, make Mysuru TiE chapter very proud. Thank you all for your participation. Shiv has already mentioned all of you, the jury, the mentors who spent a lot of their valuable time in mentoring the competitors, and for the competitors who made it to the finals and being here. Srini, thank you for this being here. We have a double-header program today, and we look forward to listening to you about your journey. Shiv, thank you for running TiE PitchFest so well, taking the baton from Dr. Mahesh Rao, and keep it going. Thank you, all the core members of TiE Mysuru. Thanks very much, and look forward to a successful event. Thanks.
So may I request Komal Chenna, TiE Associated Member and also the winner of TiE University PitchFest 2021, to introduce all the jury members.
Hello everyone, so I'm Komla, I'm the founder and CEO of Sapientry. We're an edtech startup that's helping accelerating NEP implementation within the higher education ecosystem. So Kushal and I were the founders of Sapientry, and for us, Sapientry is our home. But to be very honest, TiE Mysuru is like our home away from home. Ever since we won the TiE Mysuru PitchFest last year in 2021, we went on to represent Mysuru at the global scale, and we actually won the Social Global Impact Award. So I would say everybody here, all the startups here, make the best use of the mentorship available, all these amazing people here today. And I know all the judges here are really, really prominent people who don't need any introduction, but for the sake of formality, here goes. So to begin with, we have Mr. Pavan Ranga, a third-generation entrepreneur who comes from a background of industrialists and entrepreneurs and is the current director of the NR Group. We had the honor of sharing the stage actually at the DD Chandana Startup Champions interview from the startups of Mysuru. During that interview, actually, Pavan sir mentioned that as his family grew, so did the culture of startups and entrepreneurship within their family. And I think entrepreneurialism is something that they advocate for a lot. So, sir, thinking that Mysuru is your entire family, I really hope that you're able to share that spirit with the startups here today. Mr. Pavan has founded Rungsons Electronics, Rungsons Aerospace, and then Mindful TMS Neurocare. Mr. Pavan has actually been ranked 26th in the most influential people globally in the electronics manufacturing industry. So I think from incense to aerospace, I think all of us here can agree that Rungsons are really, really making an impact across Mysuru. Next, we have Mr. Ajit Pai, a well-wisher of Sapientry from the very beginning, who is the founder of Green Earth Fresh Produce, one of the largest organizations for contract farmers of exotic vegetables across the country. He's also the founder and current managing director of PayPal Ventures, and in his own words, a fund by founders for founders. He's the joint managing director of VW Industries, and as you all here already know, he was the past TiE Mysuru president. Apart from his incredibly entrepreneurial journey, Ajit sir, you've done some extreme things in your life. Not only are you a big fan of Game of Thrones, you've apparently climbed Mount Kailash and have even traveled to Antarctica. I mean, that's actually insane. How many of you guys have done something that insane in your life? I definitely have not. I think I have a lot yet to live, so I'm hoping for that. But sir, I'm hoping that you won't be that extreme with the startups here today. So please, round of applause for Mr. Ajit Pai, sir. And finally, we have Mr. Ananta Bhatt, somebody who I'm hoping to connect with a lot and share a lot of advice from today. He's the founder and managing director of Chowki Services, a technology and business consulting firm that helps out MSMEs and startups in scaling them from their race to the top, which I think all of you startups present here today need to take a lot of help from. Mr. Ananta has been starting his career as a designer in the fab and design sector. He then grew into leading various teams at Synopsys India and Singapore, and then started started a non-profit org in 2002 to connect the dots between industry and academia. Apart from his work experience, he's been an active member of Rotary clubs in domains like youth service, vocational growth, and youth leadership, and more. So I'm looking forward to the advice and guidance that you're able to give to all the startups here today. So good luck to all the startups here. I know they're probably going to say this again, but even though there are winners, there's going to be no losers. Because unlike last year for us, where it was a completely virtual event, you guys are all here, present in this diverse community of people. You have the opportunity to interact with all these mentors and get so much more experience, knowledge, and wisdom from all these people. So all I have to say is good luck and may the best team win. A round of applause to everybody here, and thank you for everybody for being here. Now share the stage with Mr. Rakshit to introduce the next teams.
So before Rakshit introducing all the team and kickstarting the event, few dozen downs from audience. I know that all the participants so far presented in virtual mode, and I know that currently as I taking a stage, they may be nervous. So I request all of you, keep your mobile phone either switched off or in airplane mode. And maybe, there is no questions to be asked by audiences, but maybe later on once they're done with that presentation, so you can have an interaction with them. So we'll leave the stage to juries and the startup to present this evening. So I request Rakshit to introduce the team and then proceed with the pitch. Thank you.
So very good evening, respected jury members, TiE Charter members, associate members, friends, and everyone. I'm happy to introduce the finalists of this grand finale of TiE University PitchFest Mysuru Edition 2022. How many of you have, before introducing the first team, how many of you have tried gliding a paper plane when you were young? Okay, a lot of them. Okay, so paper planes and paper rockets, as kids, you might have been glided just for fun, or in college, you might have tried to aim it at a particular girl and then wondered, damn, why did it hit the wrong one? Okay, so but here is a team which is mixing this passion of the art of plane making with and backing it with solid science and technology, and taking this to the kids community in schools. So introducing Aeronauts and EdTech startups. Aeronauts believes curiosity is the seed for innovation and is looking to drive every child to learn, explore, and innovate. How are they doing it? Well, with STEM-based do-it-yourself kits and interactive workshops, they are bound to preserve and shape curiosity of children in the field of aerosciences. So Aeronauts already has 100 paid customers, which is a great thing, and is co-founded by Jitendra Saini and Gautami TS from Nitte Meenakshi Institute of Technology, Bangalore. So they were mentored by our own seasoned technology leader, Mr. Abhiram Shripati. And please welcome Aeronauts with the planes and rockets if he had. Yeah.
So for the team, quick details, pitch. I think both the teams, all the team just listen to this. The presentation is going to be 8 minutes. At the end of the 7th minutes, you will listen to the buzzer sound from Pradeep, and at the 8th minute, you're expected to complete your presentation until juries allows you to continue and then ask anything, right? So give yourself a good amount of time for Q&A with the juries for for your presentation. Thank you.
So can I? So very good evening everyone present here. So that was a very good introduction about our company. So thank you so much. So to talk about some facts, there's every child who gets passionate about aircrafts. So definitely there is no child who don't get excited looking at the aircrafts and playing with them. So today we are here. When we talk about the statistics, every one child among 5 in the developed countries like USA, Germany, they are into the aeronautical or aerospace related hobbies at an early age as a part of STEM education. But where in India, these numbers stands very pathetic. So if India wants to take its position at a global rising economy, we have to train our young minds in the futuristic technology. So today we are here to represent that. So I'm Gautami TS, co-founder and CEO of Aeronauts. So when we talk about the key problems which this industry is facing is a lack of awareness. So many of our village, rural areas, the parents really don't know what is aeronautics, what is aerospace industry and why they should pursue it. So because of that and lack of exposure to it, lack of experiential learning in this field, many really don't take up this as a hobby or as a part of their STEM education in their schools and colleges. So keeping all these problems in the mind as well as keeping the price point of the this particular hobby, like many parents think that this is very expensive hobby, so we don't want our child to pursue it. So keeping all these problems in the mind, we have come up with our solution. So Aeronauts has both product and service as our solutions. So we have our STEM based educational kits which cater into aeronautical and aerospace sectors, as well as we have our workshops and training programs as a part of awareness campaigns, as well as for the very interested students who want to pursue this for a longer term, we have one-on-one mentoring classes to them. So these are the 3 solutions which we are currently catering in the market. So when it comes to the business model, so our unique proposition is we are catering into this niche area of aeronautics and aerospace where all the products and services we develop will be focused on this particular area where we teach the STEM through aeronautics and aerospace related concepts. So when it comes to the distribution channel, we have our all e-commerce website, retail shops and resellers, as well as our own website through which we distribute our product and services. And the market size, so with 310 million USD market size, we have chosen 170 million as our serviceable market. So when it comes to the customer segment, so parents and teachers, so they are our major target through whom we cater to children's. And the hobbyist who wants to learn more about the field, and all the passionate people around here, all are our customers. And the partners, so we have Amazon, Flipkart and shops like Sapna and Hamleys as our partners. And then when it comes to the revenue, Aeronaut stands on 3 main legs. One, revenue comes through our educational kits directly, and second through our workshops and training programs, and third one is through our one-on-one live interactive sessions. So these are the revenue channels which we are currently having. So currently we have gained some tractions. We have delivered 35 kits across the cities. So we have the customers from Kolkata, Pune, Mysuru, Bangalore, Tumkur, so many more like that. And we have trained students through our training programs around 50. And we have 15 plus students who have undergone our one-on-one live interactive sessions. So these are some of the future products which we are in developing stage. So this is the milestone. So soon after we get the fund or we raise our funds through ourselves, so this is our immediate actions. That first thing is we'll be developing a tech stack for this. Then the more and more SKUs which cater to this segment, explaining the STEM through aeronautics or aerospace. So this is how we have developed the next 1-year plan. And then competitive analysis, we have a very good potential competitors in the market. So when it comes to STEM-based educational kit, we have Smartivity and Funventions. But how we are unique from them? Smartivity and Funventions also deals with STEM education related kits, but they are into the larger segment. They make irrigation type of kits, they make science related kits, they make doctor kits, they make all playful kits. But wherein we make a specific subject oriented kits for the students, and we also price affordable in this segment. And when it comes to the workshop, as I told, workshop is not our business model. It is our awareness campaign through which we also get revenue. So we come into the picture there. Aerotrix is also a good potential competitor for us, but we are more affordable and we provide more quality content than Aerotrix. This we have got through the feedbacks from the customers. And then when it comes to one-on-one live interactive sections, so we have a very affordable price for it, wherein Evitron has kept its price too high, where most of the middle class or Indian parents cannot afford it. So we are looking forward to raise 85 lakhs throughout external sources. We have bootstrapped 2 lakh till now, and we have generated a revenue of 1.5 lakhs till date. So, and this is how we have split our fund, 85 lakhs, how we'll be using it. And this is how we'll be profitable from year 1 and how we will be growing in year 2. So core team, why we are the best to do all these things? Because we have a passionate aeronautical engineers in the team, as well as aerospace and aeronautical educators along with us. Along with that, we have ex-CEOs of the startups, and we have business developers and business owners as our mentors and advisors. So apart from this, we have been supported by Startup India as well as Startup Karnataka, and we are the finalist of Elevate Call 2, and we are waiting for the results. And we have been incubated in NMIT Bangalore. So why this is important, how it is going to impact our social economy. So very first thing is it creates awareness among the parents and the huge community, where they'll get to know why this particular sector is very important for the nation building. So secondly, the kids who learn through us develop a very good soft skills like cognitive skills, problem solving skills. So they become the innovators of the next generation products by learning all these things. And then most of the products which we are trying to develop, they all are made in China. So for example, RC craft or mini drones for the children, they all are developed in Chinese, and we all import it every year. And by manufacturing it in India, we'll reduce the dependency on Chinese product. So these are some of the social impact which we are going to impact on the society through our product and solutions. So this is how we conduct our workshops, and these are some of the students who have built the RC craft, gliders and biplanes by themselves with the help of us. So this is the parents' testimonial. So happy parents giving us a testimonial with their children, and that is a group of clients from there are the group of clients from Aeroville, I'm sorry, I don't remember the name. So they have purchased our kit for their children to educate them in this particular field. So thank you so much for having me here. My pleasure.
Hi, kudos Gautami, a good presentation. Few questions to understand the business better, and few questions more like a mentoring tips to you as well. See, there is this K-12 market, there is engineering education, there is diploma education, ITI. I did not get a feel as to say which is the ideal class segment you're looking at. Is it 5 to 7 standard, or is it 12 standard, or what range you are looking at?
So sir, currently the product which we have already developed, so this is for about 10-year students. But astonishingly, when we put this product in the market, we even got, we started receiving inquiries from 35 plus year, guys who are interested in aeronautics, who want to learn it at that age. So like, we want to learn aero modeling, so please ship us your kit. So even that segment are interested in doing a glider, as well as this kit was developed for about 10, but even engineering students want this kit. So currently our one product which we have already developed, so this starts from 10 years, and there is no restriction like which year we stop. Anyone above that can buy it. So it's like that. And when it comes to the RC craft and drone, so we are targeting above 15 years for that segment. So and most of the engineers, especially since it is a multidisciplinary, these engineering students also come to us and ask for the products.
So I just want to understand, is this a market that they're addressing, is it a hobby market, or you're saying that they learn some STEM concepts?
STEM concepts through us. Our main thing is now a person starts with a paper plane, then he comes to glider, then he makes a RC craft. So in this process, he becomes a hobbyist. he makes it a habit. So that is what we want to do it.
So when they learn these concepts, do you have any outcomes that you look at or monitor or track? Is there a mechanism at all? Or you just give these kids and then they learn by themselves? And is there anything that you get as terms of feedback? What concepts they've learned? How are they doing?
Yes.
Do you have?
So we get feedback from the parents, but we don't have a solid tech stack to monitor all those things currently. So that is what I mentioned. So our next immediate step will be to develop a tech stack.
Fantastic presentation, congrats. First question is, for your competitors who have a more broad-based positioning, I didn't still get the understanding as to why you have a better position focusing only on aero for teaching STEM.
Okay. So when I talk about educational kits, when we look into the market, so there are few kits, like especially the toys, plastic toys. They just can fix and fly and just take a feel of it. But there is no kit which actually teaches how to build it, how you can do it by yourself. So that is where we come into the picture. And when we talk about Funvention or Smartivity, they cater to the entire segment of STEM. So they make all the STEM kits related to all the different concepts. But there is no much products in particular field. So when it comes to us, we will have a glider, we'll have a rubber powered, we will have drones, we'll have RC craft coming in. But they'll not, I don't know, they might make, but we'll be in this market with these products if we become the first mover. So that will be advantageous for us in RC craft segments.
So this follow-up question is, when you talk about total addressable market, how did you come up with this 180 million?
Yes. So this is the population in India, where the age group between 10 to 20. So the overall population, I have taken that into consideration. And then the students who are getting access to education, so getting access to devices. So keeping all those into consideration and how much we can reach out to them through our resources, everything. So that is how I have derived that numbers.
And, just a long-term perspective question. What kind of market share do you intend to have in that?
In the global market?
I don't know, whatever addressable market you talked about.
Okay, so currently a STEM kits, if I speak about, it's completely acquired by Funvention and Smartivity. So in the coming three years, we'll be acquiring 50% of the market by creating awareness. So because there is no child who doesn't, get excited about it. And definitely everyone in our childhood would have looked at moon and would have done that racing with the moon. So everyone are interested, just that we have to spark that interest and make them continue that interest into a hobby.
Do you have a kit for us to see?
Yes. So this kit is still under improvement, the manuals, everything. So we have given the order. So currently here we have the normal printed one.
Yeah. My next question is more to just do a what if, okay, just to see how much you are prepared. Can you go to slide number 8 that you presented, if possible? Yeah. That's right.
Yes.
So, for potential investors, if you invest any money, if you hear the word "I will be profitable in first year," it's a very like a music, right? So you're budgeting something like 85 lakhs is needed.
Yes.
50% of that is for product development and things like that, right? So for you to achieve a profit of 33 lakhs, I would presume. So there is some data that you might be having in your head,
Yes.
which is not here. How many students you are looking at to achieve this? I
So-
just want to see what is the scalability and the feasibility of scalability to achieve these numbers.
Yes. So this is for 85 lakh we have drafted. So we'll be developing 4 products and we'll be selling 1,000 numbers each of all the 4 products to attain this profitability. So I have the numbers here. I have kept it for a backup. So this is how I have calculated all these things, keeping all our operational and employees, everything. So I think it's blur. check the presentation. So so we'll be making 4 products which cater to this segment, and we'll be in the first year, taking the entire year, we'll be selling 1,000 units each through online as well as offline and through our workshops. So by selling 1,000 each, so this is what the profitability we get. So this market, we have a very good profit margin. So within 1 year, we'll be profitable.
Other competitors you mentioned, how big are they and how old are they?
How old? Okay, Smartivity started in 2016, I suppose, 2015-16. So they were first doing art and craft thing, then they pivoted to STEM kits. So now they are doing well in the market, in the entire overall STEM things. The fun inventions, I don't remember the exact date when they have been in the market, but they are also doing well in this segment. But as I told, they are into the huge overall market of this, not making products particularly for this segment.
I just saw the kit.
Check.
What aspects of STEM do you think this kit will help them learn?
First thing, so they understand the parts and feel of the aircrafts. They learn the wood crafting skills. They understand how should I assemble the glider, because I can just give it, but just making it assemble, it won't fly. So there has to be some critical things which they have to consider, aligning all the axes, everything. So these basic principles behind the flight, they understand through this. I'm not saying direct thing, but the physics and science behind it, they understand it.
Yeah, I think we are just run out of time, but I'll just take 1 second. Next thing, assume that you are not the CEO, you are doing sales, and forget that I am the judge, I am a parent. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ, ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಮೇಡಮ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಗಳು ಓದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು I wanted to get marks, I wanted to finish CET, I wanted to go to the tuition and earn various time to do all this flying of drones. A parent will say like that. How will you convince me that I should go ahead and ask my daughter to do this along with this?
I'll do the sales here. So can I call uncle or something? So uncle, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಗಳು ಯಾವ ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ಓದ್ತಿದ್ದಾಳೆ ಅಂಕಲ್? 12ನೇ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್. PUCT ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾಳಲ್ಲ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ? ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂತ ಇದ್ದಾಳೆ? ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗಾ, ಮೆಡಿಕಲ್ಲಾ? ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್. ಏನಾದರೂ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಯಾವ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಏನು ಅಂತ? ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಪರ್ಫೆಕ್ಟ್. ಎಷ್ಟು ಅಂದರೆ ಜಾಬಿಗೆ ಕಳಿಸ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ, ಹೈಯರ್ ಎಜುಕೇಷನ್ ಕಳಿಸ್ಬೇಕಂತಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ಏನು ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ?
Thank you very much.
But you should have not have called the judge uncle. Huh? Anna would have been better.
So good job. Any charter members or any angel investors sitting in the back and then wanted to connect with them. So maybe after these sessions, please, I don't know, she has not mentioned, what is on the table. 85 lakhs she has requested, but for what equity stakes, you need to be very clear on that.
Yeah. So a great product, Gautami, and see, being I'm around 35 and I was rekindled to buy your kit. So probably you might have to think, even Amazon is giving you that kind of a feelers. You might have to think expanding your total addressable market. Yeah. So passionately pitching innovative ideas like Gautami, or judging them by envisioning potential impact like our jury members. There are few things humans will be very good at. But for everything else, there might be robots. And our next team, Drona Automations, believes in this power of robots. They are into cleaning and inspection of sewer pipes of manholes and commercial buildings with low-cost robots. Robots can be customized to operate from 3 inches to 14 inches of sewer pipes. So that's quite a lot of flexibility. Founded by Suraj Vadeyar from VIIT Muddenahalli, Drona Automations has 2 work orders already with the government and 1 is in the pipes with a private sector company. And the Dronacharya who mentored Drona Automation is our man of robots from Mysuru, Harsha Kikeri. So please, yeah, over to you, Suraj. Over to you, Suraj. Yeah, the stage belongs to you.
Hi everyone, myself Suraj from Drona Automations. As Sir rightly told, Dronacharya. So anyone tells you are from Drona, they will first think drones. No, but why I started or why I named the company Drona, in the sense I wanted to credit my company for all the teachers and mentors who are taught me. So Dronacharya and Drona. And coming to a company, a little bit background on why we started it. When I was in second year of my engineering, so basically I'm a mechanical engineer, and what happened in that time, I had seen a Facebook post and basically an article. There I saw that a person had died in Mumbai cleaning the manhole. Then I thought, okay, we have too many stuffs and too many technologies to go deep into space, but there is no some automated machine or some technology to just go 10 feet below the ground and clean the manhole pipes. So that sparked the initiated the idea and the concept, and we worked on the idea, we worked on the concept from my engineering second year. Then we worked on for around 4 to 5 years. Then we made a prototype, we tested a prototype, we failed in the prototype. Again, after some few 10s or 15 times of iteration, we cracked the product, and now here we are. So exact problem, what we are focusing on is cleaning and inspection of sewage pipes and manual scavenging of manholes. So you might have seen in your apartment, shopping complex, malls, any kind of commercial buildings, PVC pipes are there. So these particular PVC pipes, either it may be vertical, either it may be horizontal. Because of untreated water, usage of untreated water, scale formation will happen. And also in many of the commercial buildings, blockage happens due to like any kinds of waste matter like tissue waste, napkins and so on. And also, whenever we come to the manholes, there is no efficient system to navigate the pipes and clean the manhole sewage pipes. Any kind of scales and any kinds of material, even stones, bricks will be inside the pipes. Just because they wanted to do some kind of blockage, they will do it. So to eliminate all these things, we have our products, we have two variants of our product. The first variant is for the smaller sewage pipes, mainly for the commercial aspect. So for this is mainly for 3 inches to 5 inches of pipes, where we can customize the pipe sizes depending on the like the cleaning and the inspection tool. So how the entire robot is IP68 grade, meaning it is completely waterproofed, and we have a small inspection system to know what is happening inside, and we have a variable torque and the speed to operate this entire thing. And we have made the product in such a way that it should not be very much like a high level technician should not be there to operate this. And we have partnered with Janavika's NGO to have the partnership with manual scavengers who are a little bit out of job nowadays. We want to train them and we want to employ them to use our product. And this has been currently, it's already in market, and we have partnered with 2 of the companies to have a regular AMC with them. And one more variant of our product, and this is how it works. Basically, you open up any kind of pipe joints. If at all pipe joints are not there, you cut open the pipe and you insert the robot and you control it from outside. And it goes on inside cleaning any kind of scales. Scaling is one of the major issue in PVC pipes. And I'll talk about why we are doing this. And also, any kind of blockage, it just pushes the blockage and it just flushes it out. And this we are doing it for our commercial buildings, especially for the facility management companies. And one more variant of our product for the manual sewage pipes. So currently for the manual sewage pipes, we have tested the prototype in an lab manual setup using 3D printed components and the control system. So everything works fine. So now we are into assembly and testing of the metal final version of the product. So 80-85% of the product development and testing is done. We have designed this product in such a way that it can operate in any manual conditions in India. Basically in India, we don't follow the designs according to whatever we have. Contractors will do according to their own wish. So either the pipes will be having a bed, it won't have a bed, it will be aligned to the road, or it will be at an angle. And also the vertical pipe length will be like 4 feet to 12 feet, even it can go up to 3-4 meters. So considering all these things, we have designed this particular robot. How this entire thing works? It goes vertically down, clamps itself, we have a pneumatic system wherein it clamps itself to the walls of the manhole. Then the core component, which is the robot, it enters inside the pipe, it expands according to the size of the pipe. So basically in India, according to our survey, pipe sizes ranges from 6.5 inches to 14 inches in a max to max condition. So it expands according to the size. It goes on cleaning this pipe. So cleaning meaning removing the scales or any kind of blockages. And we already know what type of pipes are laid in. We have a rough idea whenever we go for a site visit. So depending on that, we just customize the tool or we just replace the tool and the locomotion system so that it can go inside the pipe very cleanly. And this is our two variants of our product. And coming to our business model. So right now we have a mixed business model. So coming to the commercial buildings, we have a service-based product wherein we give out cleaning as a service. There are two aspects for it. First, we go on a site visit. We check up what kind of blockages are there, what kind of pipes are there, and where are the accessibility points. And also, we see what kind of downtime is the client is willing to give us. So depending on that, we quote him a certain price and we go and do the cleaning. So how this cleaning happens? We employ an on-call basis plumber who does the work, and also a technician from our end goes to the workplace and he does the work. He just finish up the entire work around 6 to 7 hours if it is a small 4-floor storage building, and he comes away. And also for this smaller sector, like so for the commercial building, we are targeting the facility management companies and large building groups. So facility management companies, they take care of the building management of any IT parks or any kind of big commercial buildings. So we partner with them, we be a subcontractor to them in terms of cleaning and inspection of pipes. And also for the manual sewage pipes, we have already have orders from Janavika's NGO and agency in Kanpur. They have placed an order of 10 robots, and we want to be a product seller in terms of manual sewage pipes. So that particular model is constantly evolving. And coming to the competitive landscape, so we have two aspects: mechanized cleaning and the conventional cleaning. Whenever I talk about conventional cleaning, we have chemical cleaning and spring mechanism. Chemical cleaning, if I talk about for the smaller pipes only, you just put in like 2 liters or 5 liters of pipe. You just leave it for 20-25 minutes and you try to flush it out. So what happens? There are few of the chemicals which doesn't harm PVC. I'm not talking about that. But whenever it comes to the cleaning of the pipe, the scales are not removed efficiently throughout the circumference of the pipe. Only the bottom surface is removed, the top surface is like that. And whenever we come to the mechanized cleaning like water jetting machines or any kind of spring mechanisms, first thing for the smaller pipes, it damages the pipe and there is no much maneuverability inside the pipes, and they don't clean the pipes efficiently. And for the manual sewage pipes, they use water jetting machines, which costs from 13 lakhs. It can go up to 25 lakhs. There is no much maneuverability in all these things, and we have fluid robotics which are doing the same for much more higher diameters of pipe. They are into only mapping of the entire piping system. And right now what we are having the traction is we have a letter of intent from JLL Groups, one of the biggest real estate companies in Asia, for 1.5 lakhs and 1 lakh work order from BWSSB. And also we have started the work order in from Chikbalapur Municipal Corporation, and we have onboarded 3 distributors on board. And this is our ask. So major of the funding will be going into producing the robots and making like testing them completely in our facility, then having a little bit funding, on the marketing side. So right now we have an inventory of 3 robots for the manual and 10 robots for the commercial buildings. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Pawan, can we start from you this time? Pawan? Yeah.
A good presentation, man.
Thank you, sir.
The first question I have is, you didn't talk anything about the market.
Yeah.
What is the market size? How do you,
Correct, sir. So whenever we go about having thinking about it to estimate an market. So usually we say that market is around 2 billion in size, or like this particular, we have the numbers in place. For my particular segment, we have done the study. It's not about, we can just tell wherever the pipes are there, we can do the work. It's not only about that. It's about going into the key metrics of what is the cost of replacement for our product. If at all they are using something like a normal contractor, he charges us in a very different rate. Like for cleaning a 4-story or a 5-story building, he can charge some 1 lakhs or 2 lakhs. But we are doing it in a very different way. We are just going inside the pipe and cleaning it. He is not taking care of the cleaning of the pipe. He is taking the building management as a whole. So we are not able to cut down that particular cost and we are not able to present it. But I'm in talks with some of the customers. They are like little bit hesitant to give out the cost, unit cost, whatever is happening. But yes, I want to work on that particular, getting the market size exactly.
The second question is, well, you better get that fast. You got to know what market you're going after and
Yes.
what opportunity exists. The second question I have is, you have a subscription model
Yes,
and you're looking at this as a service.
correct,
The challenge with doing this as a service is scale.
correct.
How do you plan to scale? Because there are already guys doing different other maintenance works. Just to clean pipe, will you get a contract? Will you train people? And how do you scale across cities?
Yes. So this was one of the thing what we had faced whenever we were talking to the customers, not only in Bangalore, in Delhi, NCR and other sectors. So they were like, how will you address me whenever I want it? It's like an on-call basis. If at all I have a problem here, he will call me. So what we did is, we are trying to partner up with some of the distributors in that particular region, and they are already willing to procure the product. They will be keeping the product in their facility, the existing maintenance guys. So whenever there is an order, we will be getting the sales. We will be telling him, okay, you go and do the particular maintenance or the order here. He will be executing that. So that particular model we are working out with like a company in Delhi NCR right now, and we can like scale up in that particular manner. We can be with the provider of product. We can set up we can partner with one of the distributor or the maintenance guy. He can do the work.
Okay. I have another question. You talked about making the product very simple to use, not a very trained guy. But at the same time, you say you need to cut and join the pipes.
Yeah.
That requires some skill, especially if it's a operating pipe.
Yes, sir. So
Isn't that a little contradictory?
what we want to aim at is a technician and a plumber who knows the job. But in majority of the cases, there is access points, like the joints, just on a screw joint. But in one of the worst cases, what we have seen is there are no joints, very old buildings. But currently buildings, whatever they use, and mainly the facility management companies who take care of the IT parks, right? They have very good plan, where they have a clear-cut plan of where the joints are, what kind of pipes are. So in that particular facility, we don't require that skill. In any worst of the worst case, we require that. And and one more thing I forgot to mention, sorry. We have applied for the patent and 80% of the patent process is done. We are awaiting the first examination report.
Yeah, Suraj, as a preparatory for this, I looked at the slides and the YouTube video that you have put up about your things at work. So in that YouTube video, you had just taken just a clean pipe, just to demonstrate that it can move at all angles and things like that. We are interested in what has been, that's okay. Yeah. So what has been your lab experimental reports or your field reports? Yeah. In a residential segment, there is a drinking water pipe, there is a brown water pipe, there is a black water pipe.
Correct, sir.
Right? Fairly. So, but then a lot of mess gets into it, the hair and food particles, vegetable things like that. And that's the reason why it really gets blocked, right? Otherwise, gravity will do a lot of good work. So, how dirty can the pipe be in terms of, did it break down during prototyping? How dirty can it manage?
So what we did is two things. First thing is we emulated the entire thing, whatever happens in a real-time scenario in our lab. So what we emulated is, we had a pipe and we just put all the tissues and whatever not inside the pipe and we tested it and it worked fine inside the lab. So whenever we went to the real-time scenario, and this is why I'm concentrating, because our test failed here. So this is why I'm putting it. I wanted to say here because the joint is not proper. Whenever the pipes are joined at a place, there should be some kind of like a small gap in between. That gap, the sediments were formed in between that gap. And also, the robot was not able to maneuver that things properly. So we identified that there is some kind of modification should be done on the wheels, periphery surface. So like this, we faced a lot of difficulty. And one of the like issues, whatever we faced is the pipes are very good. The PVC pipes in a very old building, that too in a residential complex, like an apartment, it's very good up to certain point. What happened whenever we opened the joint and we put the robot inside, it was happening very good up to certain point, and after certain point some napkins and everything were there. So we were not able to do like what to do it. Either we need to get it back or we need to push it. So we were just pushing it up to certain point, and as you said, the water flow and the gravity, it did it work. And whenever we went to the the chamber side, we just removed the entire thing. And whenever we do the entire work, we want to wear some kind of protective gears to our till our elbows and everything, so that we are not into that mess. And also we have faced a lot of issue while cleaning.
Suraj, can I interrupt you so that I can give one last question to Ajit? Yeah, so that you get variety to answer as well. Ajit?
You were here last year for the PitchFest. Can you tell me what progress is made then to now?
Yeah, so last time we were not doing the field testing works. So right now, from there to here, we have a year or some 10 months time. So what we have done is, from the lab testing, we went to the field testing, and we did the field testing in our in my own college, we are like VIT Mudanalli. After that, we pitched to some of the government municipal corporations, and we got the orders, and we are executing the orders right now. We have paying customers in Chikbalapur and JLL.
Thank you, Suraj.
Thank you, sir.
While robots from folks like Suraj are great, in a developing country like India right now, we need better ways of discovering and engaging workers, especially blue-collar workers. And our next startup, Job Setu, is on a social mission to make employability accessible to blue-collar workers across India. Job Setu is an AI and blockchain enterprise solution that efficiently matches blue-collar workers with potential job providers in the blue-collar gig market. So Job Setu is an early-stage startup co-founded by Chandrakant and Shreyas Aradhya from JSS Science and Technology University, Mysuru. They were mentored by a person with rich corporate and entrepreneurial experience, Mr. Vigyanand Gurudev. And Chandrakant, the stage is all yours.
A very good evening, everybody. I am Chandrakant. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Job Setu. Job Setu is an AI and blockchain-based enterprise solution that targets the $80 billion market, growing at a 17% CAGR, supporting millions of Indians by providing guaranteed and verified job interviews for gig work and employment in the blue-collar job market. The blue-collar space in India has its own set of gaps when it comes to job recruitment, and we are trying to address three major gaps among them. Fundamentally, there are three stakeholders involved in the process of hiring of a blue-collar worker: the job providers, the job seekers, and the job agencies. Job providers or employers do not have access to a uniform database of blue-collar workers to hire from. Job seekers, on the other hand, do not have a mobile application that is blue-collar friendly. Job agencies, through which the major part of the current hiring happens, is expensive. So what's the solution? We are creating a uniform database of blue-collar workers. We are building a mobile application that is blue-collar friendly, and we are being the middlemen to get the hefty commissions charged by these blue-collar agencies. So what's our product? We are building a technology platform that helps employers to efficiently onboard blue-collar candidates. Our first differentiating feature is assisted video resumes. Textual resumes at the blue-collar level do not add a lot of value to the interviewer, as everybody will have similar skills mentioned on their resumes. Also, textual resumes are pretty boring. Introducing assisted video resumes, a new way to create short and engaging video resumes. Our mobile application provides a video resume maker, which internally includes a teleprompter so that a person can read the text while he records himself. The pitch that he would be recording himself against would be in his own language, and it would be AI generated based on the basic inputs provided by him. Also, Video resumes could be used in several other ways. Video resumes could be used in a way such that job seekers uploads a video of themselves performing a particular skill. For instance, imagine an electrician uploading a video of himself performing some electrical activities. This is proof of work, and this helps aids in the decision-making process of our employer. Our second feature is job postings for employers for better communication of job requirement for the blue-collar workers. Our third feature is multilingual app using NLP. Why? Because since a major part of the blue-collar workers finds English as a barrier to communication, we'd be using NLP to convert English to regional languages. Fourth, the ease of onboarding due to all these features will allow us to attract a huge audience and create a large uniform database of blue-collar workers to show as ready-to-use resources for employers. We also provide features such as online proctoring, preliminary test, and interview scheduler to automate the entire process of hiring to one platform. But is our market big enough? The blue-collar gig economy is a $232 billion market growing at a 17% CAGR. Our target market ideally consists of blue-collar workers who are in the age group 18 to 34, who uses a smartphone, who lives in a tier 1 city like Bangalore or Pune, with considerable portion of migratory workers from states like Assam, UP, and Bihar. Assuming various numericals, we arrive at a $8 billion SAM value. Moving further, going to market, we have several channels to onboard customers. We realize that people are camera shy and reluctant to record videos. So a major channel of onboarding customers would be through field staff, who would be going to targeted location and help these blue-collar workers in the onboarding process involved in the application process. The other forms of go-to-market strategy would be digital marketing, job mailers, kiosks, and much more. Our entry sectors are delivery, drive segment, restaurant services, and manufacturing. Moving further, how we would make money. There are 4 streams of revenue. First two are direct revenue, and the next 2 are indirect revenue. The first is a subscription model, wherein we would be charging 49 rupees to a job seeker for a guaranteed interview and 149 rupees to an employer for a guaranteed interview with a quality lead provided by us. Second is a staff augmentation model, wherein we would be providing pre-vetted candidates in bulk for a limited period of time to employers and charge 5% flat on each payment. The third is an indirect model, wherein we would be generating revenue by employment history. So what does that mean? A blue-collar worker in India doesn't have an employment history. For instance, there is no digital way of knowing whether a carpenter or a plumber has 3 years of experience that he claims to have. So what do? After every person who gets a job through our portal, we ask them to upload their salary details and get them verified by their employers. We use this data to generate NFT tokens and store it as an employment history. Now, how do we make money out of this? So we have salary details, we have every other details that we require of an employee. We sell targeted products at a commission by tying up with various companies. And also, this also includes tying up with BFSI companies for EMIs, loans, and insurances. The last mode of revenue would be through a learning management system, wherein we would be selling courses. This would be primarily B2B in nature. Moving further to our financials, we would be making, in the first 3 quarters, we won't be making any money. This would be purely developmental phase. And the first revenue generating quarter, we would be making 84 lakhs in revenue. The year following that, we would be making 10.5 crores with expenses of 6.5 crores and 17.8 crores respectively. We'd be breaking even immediately after the second year because this is where the indirect revenue kicks in. Our CAC value is estimated at 300 rupees, and our LTV would be 3 times CAC value is what we estimate, at least. And moving further to our competition, our major competitors are Apna, Vahan, and Work India. Job Setu is less expensive than all of our competitors except for Apna, and we are more convenient than all of our competitors in the market. Moving to our team, Shreyas Aradhya would be leading the sales and operations, and I'd be taking care of tech and design. Shreyas Aradhya has worked as a COO of Samvita Private Limited. Shreyas and I have been friends for about 3 years now. And we are proud to say that we co-founded the official entrepreneurship cell of JSS Science and Technology University, Mysuru. We are mentored by Dr. Ashish Chadha, MD and CEO, Wheeler Cleaner and Mojo Jojo, and Mr. Ritesh Srivatsava, CTO E-Team, Bangalore. They combine together, bring in decades of experience in sales, IT, and marketing. Coming to our actual purpose here, we are here seeking 75 lakhs in exchange for 7% equity of our company. The major part of the funds would be used to achieve MVP and the first phase of soft launch. The major parts of the funds would be utilized as employee cost. We already have an interested pre-seed investor who is currently valuing our company at 10 crores. With that, I would like to welcome you to join hands with us in this social mission to make employability accessible to each household in India and make millions in the process. Thank you everybody. I'd also like to thank TiE Mysuru for organizing this event and giving me this opportunity, and also assigning me Mr. Vijayanand Gurudev as my mentor. Thank you so much.
Ajit, can we start with you this time? Thanks. Is this an idea stage, or have you made any progress in this?
We are in the prototype stage currently.
So what are you currently prototyping?
So we have a mobile application built on React. It has a video resume maker already, and we are trying to work on the backend, sir, for now.
Another question I had was, you mentioned blockchain.
Yes.
So I'm wondering how blockchain and why blockchain?
NFT tokens for storing employment history. So what happens is, in the Indian market, Indian blue collar market, there is nothing called as an employment history. You cannot know whether a blue collar worker has the 3 years of experience that he claims to have. So what we are doing is, we'll tell them every time you get a job through our application, you send us your salary details, we'll get it verified with your employers, and then we'll store it as an NFT token, which could be publicly accessed, but with a payment from the employers, whoever is requesting it. So this creates an employment, this thing. The NFT tokens, it would be blockchain based. That is why I have used that.
So you're saying that you actually have to contact people, get their history, and then put it up on the blockchain?
Yeah. See, we will be incentivizing these blue collar workers who would be uploading the salary details of theirs, because we'll tell them that if you are able to give me, if you are able to tell me that you have gained salary in this month, I'll put it on my this thing and give it to you as a rating, so that next time somebody is asking for you, some worker is asking for you, I'll tell that worker that, okay, this guy has worked in this many places, I have proof for that. That is how we'd be using that in a decentralized way.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi Chandrakant, very good presentation.
Thank you.
I'm just a little scared.
Okay.
Have you taken up a too big a problem?
Yes.
Right? So when you said you have a uniform database, my antennas went up.
Yes.
Right? So in the age group that you mentioned about, out of 130 crore population, we are talking about 2 crores per age group. That is one way of looking at it, Indian demographic. So 40 crore people, 4% or 10% of that could be seeking employment, assume. Right? So we are talking about creating a database of 4 crores to really claim uniform database.
Yes, yes.
Instead of calling you Job Setu, you can as well call yourself Audio LinkedIn.
Okay.
Isn't it too big a problem? What is your unit cost of getting a resume on there for all your backend technology to work?
Okay, okay. So that's a good question, sir. Thank you for asking. So you said that there would be over 2 crore database that we require. But the beauty over here is we do not need to have 2 crore people doing these resumes. A single person can qualify as a delivery guy, as a cleaner, as a plumber, not as a plumber, but as a person in a restaurant service. They do not need to have a specific skill. So one person can frame as 4 other persons. So you don't have you don't want to have a 2 crore database over there. You just have to have like probably a 40 lakh database over here, so that they can be projected as 5 other forms over there. That is one thing. And also coming to unit cost, as I said, our cost of customer acquisition would be 300 rupees, less than 300 rupees. Why? Because we would be sending out field staffs to each locations. One customer would cost us around, for a field staff would cost us at majority would be around 240 rupees. And then from there we have added digital marketing, job mailers and stuff like that in the marketing segment. So it comes to around 300 rupees, but the estimation is far more conservative. So we have just inflated the expenses just so that we do not compromise on anything else. Did that answer your question, sir?
Yeah, I sort of, two suggestions and then I will hand it to Pawan.
Sure, sure.
One is, see, in this gig sector, there is, I'm sure you know formal and informal sector.
Yes.
Right? I think you are servicing the formal sector. That is, if I need 100 carpenters for my furniture company, I can clearly see value from you.
Yes.
But you don't have a solution for the informal sector, right? The carpenter looking for, or a owner looking for a carpenter.
No, sir. That would be a urban clap company.
Okay,
That's
got it. So but keep the eye open for that.
Okay.
Right. Second thing is getting this rich database. Try to see if it can be done remotely.
Okay.
With the technology in place. So without needing the field staff.
Okay.
That could be a sort of an enabler to accelerate.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for the feedback, sir.
Good presentation. To his point, if you're looking after going after the organized sector,
okay.
Look, the problems you're trying to solve, I want you to validate whether they are the real problems. If I want to recruit, and I'll give you a simple example, if I want to recruit, say 150 workers for my shop floor who need to do some assembly work,
okay.
I really won't need a video resume.
Yes, yes.
That's not my challenge.
Yes.
Video resumes are solving a different problem.
Yes.
They're solving the problem of credibility of the resume.
Yes.
Where people are claiming something they are not.
Yes.
Here it's a very simple way to evaluate. It's not like I'll sit and see 1,000 videos to choose 100 people.
Yes.
Really, this is a problem for a different segment.
Okay.
Okay. So I want you to know this because I know somebody else who's trying to solve a similar problem.
Okay. Okay.
So fundamentally go look back into that. And have you done that analysis?
Yes,
That's
sir,
my
we
question.
have done that. We understand. See, the thing is, mid-level enterprises who would like to hire in 10s or 20s would like to go through these kind of resumes because these textual resumes doesn't tell you a lot because they'll be having hobbies like, they just put out hobbies like they're playing volleyball or doing something in the background. This doesn't add a lot of value. When blue collar worker is majorly about how they physically appear, because if you aren't able to lift something up, you do not cater to some category. You just cannot tell that in textual resume. That is what we are bringing to the table. It is more interactive than textual resumes. That is what we are. And also answering to your question on when there are thousands, when you want to recruit like hundreds of people, this is wherein the augmentation model comes in. We tell you that we'll be giving you everything. You do not have to worry. We'll pre-vet the candidates and we'll give you everything. You just have to get the work done.
Okay. The second question I have is the other problem you're trying to solve, right? Which is the language issue.
Yes.
In formal sector, when we recruit these shop floor employees or blue collar workers, most SOPs are in English. So we look for somebody who can read those SOPs, largely.
Okay.
There are some industries that are different,
okay,
like textile and stuff. So again, I want you to answer, is this the real problem that recruiters are finding as a challenge?
This vernacular base, the regional language base, is not the employer's problem, sir. It's the job seeker's problem. I have a personal friend, who works in a blue collar segment. When I showed him one of our competitors' app and asked him to get a job through that, he found it difficult because the way they have used vernacular language is pathetic over there. So what we thought was we can make this blue collar friendly just by converting everything to their own language. It would be more user friendly for them. Also, when it comes to big organization, they give it to a contractor. So what happens is contractor takes care of these people. But one of our customers, the clients would be a contractor as well. So that's one place we can say.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So moving on from helping workers to construction management. According to World Economic Forum data, 8% of energy and 15% of carbon dioxide emissions are created just by two industries, cement and steel. So when cement and steel, so much is consumed in a construction, soon after the construction or after a demolition, there is so much of construction waste which just gets wasted. And Bin to Bricks, our next startup, it's a planned startup yet to operate, is devising an innovative solution to tackle this practical problem. With the motto of making recycling urban waste viable, Bin to Bricks aims to clean the city from construction and demolition waste and come up with an operational product which can be used again. So the 4-member team led by Ankita from MIT Mysuru was mentored by an entrepreneur and a professor revered by his students, Dr. Mahesh Rao. So team Bin to Bricks, let the action begin.
Thank you. Thank you. That was a great introduction. Hello, everyone. A very good evening. I'm Ankita from Department of Civil Engineering, representing Bendrix along with my team members Yasin, Junaid, and Sharath, for a solution to the problem around us, which is ignored to a great extent. Whenever we think of waste, plastic, organic, paper, e-waste, these are the things we always try to recycle and come up with a solution to the problem caused by those. But there is one thing silently affecting our city and environment, which can be transformed into useful stuff and save the future. And that waste is 6,500 tons. Yes, 6,500 tons of the construction and demolition waste generated every day around India. Out of all the debris generated, the recycled percent is just 2, and rest of the debris are left behind. According to our research, Mysuru produces around 100 to 150 tons per day. C&D waste majorly consists of plastic, concrete, and masonry waste. Since people are aware of recycling plastic waste and recycling of plastic waste have been done, we are concentrating on concrete and masonry waste. Let us see the composition of C&D waste in India, which majorly consists of 65% of concrete and at least 1% of plastic. Since India is a developing country, the growth rate in construction industries are rapidly increasing. Considering that as a key problem for production of construction and demolition waste, pollution, appearance of a city, and also there is a downfall of naturally available aggregates. As we already indicated that recycling is the only way to ensure that C&D waste won't affect the environment, and that's the way for Bendrix to produce the bricks. When the recycled bricks are used, the material required for plastering and the construction process will be reduced, and which is economical. The key factor to be noted is for environmental sustainability. Let us see the procedure. First, we collect construction and demolition waste. Since we already told that we are concentrating on concrete and masonry waste, we are going to segregate those and transformed into a crusher and transformed into a powder form. And we take 80% of concrete and masonry waste, further added with 12% of cement and 8% of fly ash with water to form a mortar. That is then transformed into a mold and pressed under hydraulic press. Given some curing days, our brick is ready to sell. Along with this, we are also planning to develop a mobile application which gives end-to-end connection, and where the people can directly contact Bendrix through the mobile application app, even for dumping purpose or the order purpose. And this is our USP. Next, the cost part will be carried out by colleague Sharath. Over to you, Sharath.
Thank you, Gita. I'm pleasure to carry over the further presentation regarding the Bendrix proposal. Here is the cost. We had divided the cost into two parts, that is capital investment and variable cost. Capital investment includes land, infrastructure, machineries, and app development, costing rupees 23 lakh, and variable cost includes transportation, labor, raw materials, marketing expenses, depreciation, and electricity charges, costing around 9,73,000. The tax rate is 5% GST applicable on concrete block. Here is the revenue part. The concrete block which is already available in the market is rupees 40 per unit, whereas the actual production cost of Bendrix will be rupees 22 per unit. After including all the expenses like depreciation, electricity charges, and marketing expenses, it will be rupees 3 per unit. So the overall cost of Bendrix will be rupees 25 per unit. The selling price of Bendrix product is rupees 35 per unit. Bendrix is having the capacity to produce the 2000 bricks per day. As we are in the initial stage, we are producing the 500 bricks per day. Here is the roadmap of Bendrix with our product line along with the time period. In the first year, we are going with the C&D brick of size 1, concentrating on the Mysuru market. And in the second year, along with the C&D brick size 1, we are producing C&D hollow brick by concentrating tier 2 cities along with the Mysuru market. In third year, along with these two products, we are also producing C&D brick of size 2, going beyond the market of Karnataka. Here you can see the cost details of Bintrix proposal. In the first year, we are going with the quarterly approach with the 5% increase in the each quarter. In second year, we are going with the 30% increasing approach, and in the third year, we are going with the 40% increasing approach. Here you can see the fluctuations in numbers regarding total cost, selling prices, and the net profit, because due to we are going with the increasing approach from one year to another year. This graph clearly expresses that there is an increase in production capacity and also the sales revenue of Bintrix from one period to another period. And now I request my colleague Junaid to carry over the further presentation. Over to you, Junaid.
Thank you, Sharath. Thank you, Sharath. When we talk about our marketing strategy, our first approach will be through advertisements. Advertisement through newspapers, pamphlets, and social media. And we will be reaching out to the public. One thing that is very specific, that we are very specific about is the strength of the brick. When you look at the construction and demolition construction brick, the strength of compressive strength of the brick should be around 5 megapascal. But we are providing our brick strength to be around 20 megapascal, through which we will be creating awareness among the customers that they need not to compromise on quality and build strength of the brick while supporting the cause of sustainable development. This is my team, Ankita, Sharath, Yasin, and myself. When we further, this is not the end. When we further conducted our research, we came across our competitors. Our first competitor is Rock Crystals, a Bangalore-based company which collects the C&D waste, converts that into fine aggregate, and that is their final product. Second one is Sustira Trust. It is a Delhi-based organization in Mysuru working on collecting and utilization of C&D waste, and that one thing it is that company is still in initialization phase. We Bintrix are going to collect that C&D waste, recycle that C&D waste into bricks, and we are with a vision of sustainable development. To lay a good foundation of Bintrix, we have an ask. The total investment for our project to be executed is around 33 lakh rupees, and we are here with an ask of 20 lakh rupees at seed fund, and which will be utilized as presented below. When you talk about our return on investment, with your support and our effort, we are projecting our return on investment will to be around 300%. This is our business canvas model with key features, revenue streams, customer relationships, and so on. We are here with a solution for the C&D waste by reducing the past, recycling the present, and saving the future. Thank you.
Can you start with Ananta?
Hi, well coordinated teamwork in bringing out the idea. We have to assess you a little differently because you are at the ideation stage, yes, right? So few questions in that. First part of the presentation, super excited. The real problem you are working on. But when it comes to the financial, right, just want a little worried. So you are saying you are going to get 25 rupees to produce and you are going to sell it at 35. Did I get it right?
Yes, sir.
That is too less a profit for you. Just keep this in mind. Any viable business should have a good profit margin for you to scale and things like that, right? So the machinery and all this yet to be assessed, yes, right? Do you have a design about what all you studied in terms of what it takes to put together that machinery?
In first year, our college is providing the facilities like machineries, compression machine, all those things. So,
is there a certification needed? Say because it is recycled, is there a certification before I put it into a construction, say for example either apartment or wherever it is, before it says this is an acceptable model?
It need a certificate telling that it has a compression strength minimum 5 megapascal, and we are reaching around 15 to 20 megapascal per brick.
To add up to our point, we have conducted tests in our college laboratory, and we have come up with that compressive strength of our prototype model.
Okay. Say out of 33 lakhs expense, 20 lakhs was for, it's okay, you don't have to go back to the slide. 20 lakhs was for Android app. See, app is needed when you want to reach millions. See, number of collections that you may want to reach is in few hundreds. Because you are restricted to Mysuru at this point in time, the way it was presented. So are you open for an advisor? Say, I'm excited to this idea. This is a good cause. So forget the app for time being. You know, it will change the equation. So we don't need that much of funds as well. at half the fund, this idea can be tested out. Are you open to say scrap the app or postpone the app?
Sure, sir. Once we scale, we can think about the app. Our basic idea is to conquer the local market.
I'm a little confused. You said you made 500 bricks. Did I hear you right earlier?
That is our projected count, sir.
So right now, is the science and the manufacturing in a lab established completely, or is it still under trial?
Still under trial, sir.
So when you say you are achieving 20 megapascals, how do you say that? Is it on a one brick you made, or two bricks, or how do you test that?
We made out three bricks, out of which two of which we tested, and it is here.
Okay. And is the chemistry or the science completely established? Because do you have to add something to the waste, or is just the waste and what is the process?
We have added 8% of fly ash, sir.
So 8% of fly ash is added.
Yes,
okay.
sir.
The cost you mentioned of 25 rupees, the biggest challenge is going to be collection and sorting. What is that? Have you included that? What is the process of doing that? Because collection is going to be a challenge. And also sorting. What kind of sorting mechanisms? Have you thought about that?
As we have mentioned that Mysuru produces 100 to 150 tons per day, sir. Collection, definitely, if we go around and see, it won't be a biggest challenge to collect debris, sir, because it's a huge amount, sir.
Since it is available everywhere, so we can get easy information that this thing is present at this place, sir.
See, the problem of collection is challenging because waste is everywhere, but having waste collection is a big challenge. So having it everywhere is not necessarily a solution. So you have to think about that as well.
Yeah, guys, to be honest, I don't have any questions. I think whatever questions I had, the other two jurors have already asked you. So what I urge you to do is to do some research in the real world. I think you're spending a lot of time in the lab trying to get the product right, but you want to go spend time in the market, at least one or two of you, to really understand the challenges of collection, that is this available, is this the right kind of raw material, are there so many, there's usually bound to be so many impurities and toxins and all of that. So is there added cost involved, is it feasible? So while you're doing your product analysis and process analysis, you need to go into the market and get a real world feel for is this feasible. I urge you to do that. Just an advice, I don't have a question.
Sure.
Thank you, sir.
Well, you have a great advisor already with Dr. Mahesh Rao.
Yes,
But just one suggestion, the land you mentioned, 5,000 rent, whatever, is college going to support you with that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
When you incubate, because you're whatever, college is going to support you there?
Yes, sir, for first year.
So do explore, so there is a social angle to this. So do explore if a CSR of a company can also be a sort of early partners to pilot this idea. And and get it certified so that you are dealing with safety of people, right? So because it's huge responsibility you are entering into, but it's a good idea. Just ideate as Pawan rightly mentioned. Get out of the lab, or you have a good teamwork in place. We can see one be in the lab, two of you be in the field, and do good luck for this idea.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I thank TiE chapter and all the jury members and my mentor Mahesh Rao sir and also my faculty Kishan sir and Kritika ma'am. By all your support, we could make it till here. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
So, while recycling is critical for slowing down climate change, as Bintrix is doing, there is an even more immediate challenge helping farmers adapt to climate change. So, rapid urbanization and changing weather patterns have accelerated groundwater depletion and made predicting groundwater levels ever more challenging. And Lok Trusha by Team Code Echo is a complete solution to determine the underground water levels, and other details regarding underground water. So their robust application aims to understand the groundwater scenario in the entire country, leveraging data analytics. They aim to help Indian farmers and boost agricultural economy of India. So Loktrusha gives a broader classification of groundwater levels using statistical and arithmetic solutions. Team CodeEcho provides advanced solution to scout out water aquifers and other unknown water resources. So the team is led by Abhishek Arpan from CMRIT Bangalore and was mentored by our own innovation evangelist, Mr. Srinath Birur. So let's go for the final assault from Team CodeEcho.
Okay, so good evening everyone. I am Prateek and today I would like to present to you Loktrusha, which is a consultancy for groundwater exploration, development and management. So before we get started, I would like to present a small video to explain the problem statement better.
Committed suicide in the Madurai district of Tamil Nadu on Friday after 2 bore wells he sunk did not strike water to save his vegetable cultivation. Balraj had taken loans for sinking bore wells as well as to buy a tractor.
And the repercussions of this harsh summer are being felt across the country. In drought-hit Jharkhand, a 25-year-old man has committed suicide after efforts to get underground water to solve his family's water crisis failed.
Dilip had taken a 70,000 rupee loan to dig a bore well. 700 feet of digging later, no water.
Alright, so the video that we saw at the end is a very superstitious method, very popular in India, where farmers walk with a coconut in their hand and they try to detect the location of water unscientifically. So this is why I think major bore wells are failing, but then there's one more major reason, that is depletion of groundwater levels. In states like Maharashtra and Karnataka, the groundwater is depleted by over 70% in the last 1 decade. And this is a matter of concern which the government has already signaled. So, what is the cost of digging up a bore well? A bore well to a farmer would easily cost a minimum of 3 to 4 lakh in today's date, including the piping, installation, and other charges. So, let me come to our solution. So, we've built a software solution based on data analysis using the satellite data to get down to the penniest level where we can go down to the water. So, there's a current method that's very popular. That is a hardware method, which is very expensive, and that's used by a very few hydrologists across India. And what this method is, it's called the electrical resistivity method that goes deep inside the ground, and it reflects back a graph of how the water status is. But then this can be easily done through the satellite data as well. Let me show you how. Okay, so let me first explain how the software works. We take the satellite data, we monitor, and we have an intelligent analysis over it. We then get the analysis, map, analyze, classify, quantify using the ML algorithm, and get a recommendation action plan for the farmers. This is how we consult them. And this is how the graph looks. This gives us a depth, the earth depth profile of where the water would be. This is the 2D mapping, and this is the 3D mapping. So the verification of proof of concept. It is not that just we've made a solution and we've come here to pitch. We've actually got the solution verified by over 17 hydrologists and 4+ data scientists. And also, we've got in touch with the Ministry of Jal Shakti and contacted them and asked them if there's a real problem and is there a real solution what the government is acting upon. They said yes, and they were actually looking for solutions like this to come up with. We've also got in touch with Department of Hydrology at IIT Gandhinagar and got an expression of interest by Professor Harsha, who's working very closely with us on this project. So let me come down to the market feasibility now. So 63% of the farmers in India are directly dependent on groundwater as their main source of irrigation. In India, 4+ states, that is the southern belt mainly, are directly dependent on groundwater for even drinking purpose. And as we go, the budgets for various states have been increasing. So let me come to the market feasibility in detail as to what the government is doing for them. There are over 40 tenders by the government on borewell activity related, and over 49,000 Manrega jobs have been produced over the past year. So who is our target market? Our target market is the government. We want to target them, and we want to get the projects from them. So this is a very famous example of Andhra Pradesh, where they allotted 2,300 crores to just dig free borewells across the state. But then what started happening is the wells started failing. So again, that is because of water shortage in Andhra Pradesh. So now let me come to the competitive advantage. So 63% are the local players, the local hydrologists in each state, each district, and these local hydrologists use those unscientific methods, and they're just using the knowledge from the time they're living in that place. And the others are a few we've contacted, that's Ganga irrigation system and Amruta irrigation system. These are using scientific methods, but they're really expensive. This is where we come to an advantage. Our method is cheaper and comes it gives you a very high accuracy. So now, to my business plan, I would like to present you a 6-year summary plan. So we aim to achieve a break-even point between 3 to 4 years, and from our second years, our expenses would be anywhere between 17 to 23 lakhs. Now the first 2 years would be going into advancement of technology research and development basically. We would be hiring data scientists, we would be working with them closely, and we would be understanding, because we are students yet, we are at the ideation stage. We are going to work closely with them to understand and procure more data, procure the satellite data, different data that we can, and we can work and we can experiment on these things. We can then start going on ground and getting bore wells dug. Now initially we would be doing this by establishing a private database, and we would be onboarding experienced hydrologists and scientists again, and we would be working with the local hydrologists here to check if the success versus the failure rate works here. On the 3rd to 4th year, we start expanding our work, and we go on to targeting the government projects, also a few individual contractors like the builders, and that's how we would be getting our first income. So marketing, we are totally based on the word of mouth. When we target government tenders, we would be showing our work to get us more projects. So let me come to the summary slide. We are improving the accuracy of identifying the bore well from 35 to 80% right now, and it won't just be a profit-making business, but also socio-economical costs that we are trying to solve. The cost of digging up a well is heavily minimized in this case. We've also establishing a private database. So let me give you a very interesting point here. Developed countries like Japan, USA, and Germany already have these private databases established because of the water depletion in these countries. With these databases, they are able to detect the possible locations of water, and this is an ongoing method. India has not even started developing the database. So this would be a first step to at least develop a database. And this is just a very prototype of how the system works. So we perform the data using, so this data was procured to us by Department of Hydrology at IIT Gandhinagar, and we performed it at the Chikmagalur district. We got various recognitions by the Bangalore Chambers of Commerce Industry, and we also got a very golden opportunity to win the Federation of Karnataka Chambers of Commerce Industry, and could present it in front of the Minor Irrigation Minister, Shri J.C. Madhuswamiji. Also, to end this presentation, I would like to quote our Prime Minister that the need of the hour is to bring technology in our irrigation systems. So thank you so much, and I'm open to questions. This is my team.
Arpan, what is the legal status of your operation right now? Incubated, company started, prototype ready? I mean, what stage you are in? Like?
So we are at the ideation stage, and we'll be working towards taking the first step to register our startup.
So I think we need to discuss to find out the most crucial point that the government should be doing, right? See, any success story is a multi-stakeholder, players are there. So from the looks of it, ISRO has to give the satellite data.
Right, sir. So
and
ISRO
Jal
is...
Shakti Ministry, I mean, you said that your biggest customer is government.
Right, sir.
Correct? And the operational infrastructure for this to be rolled out to the villages and all those things, is it government, Panchayat Raj?
Right, sir.
So just government has to write the check to you. You are so dependent on government success.
Right, sir.
I mean, government for success. So there are two kinds of people who look at it. You know, they love to work with government and make change happen, and empower 20% who can really make the change happen, or people who run away from government. So I'm sure you know B2B, B2C, B2 institution to C. I think my suggestion to you is, I mean, I can't ask a lot of questions, but one suggestion I have is ideate and hit the bullseye in terms of deployment of this.
Right, sir.
Because Satellite Application Center in Ahmedabad should just talk to you and deploy this data. I mean, that's the feeling I get.
Right, sir.
So not the end customer, and don't even ask the end farmer to pay additional money to you. They are already stressed.
Right, so that's why
Yeah.
I think we never targeted the farmers for our original customers. When I also said I would be targeting the builders. And of course, about the ISRO satellite data, that procurement, it's well available. They're ready to sell it. Just that we need to prove ourselves as a startup. And with that, we're getting help from Department of Hydrology at IIT Gandhinagar. So we are at work to go down to the first digging of our well.
Hey, good presentation. Excellent, actually. I have a couple of questions. The first one is, how validated is this concept?
So, sir, popular countries have already implemented the system. And so that's how we get the hope that this system is going to work. Now, coming to the technology, of course, the technology I wouldn't say is foolproof because it's in the developmental stage. And there are many technologies that can be used. We are not experts. We need to get the experts on board. And coming to the main point, I mean, sir, so when we went ahead to test the data in Chikmagalur, we already had the ground well status at different locations, right? So when we put that software into our location, we were actually getting the depth approximately equal to what was the value we already had. So that's why I'm not saying we went there physically and we checked it, but from the test data, because right now in India, ground well data is not well structured. The government doesn't have any data. So data was the main problem.
That's all right, I got it. So second question is, how does it reduce the cost of a borewell? You said it reduces the cost of a borewell.
Sir, so yes, that's a very interesting question. What happens is, when the farmer digs up a well, okay, and he pays the amount that he's supposed to, if he doesn't find the water,
the success rate improvement is what you're talking about.
Yes, that is what I actually wanted to say.
Okay. The last thing is, just a follow-up advice on what he was saying. Find channel partners.
Right.
As a startup, don't bother too much working around the government. My advice is to find channel partners, and there are tons of them.
Right.
Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Fantastic problem to solve. I mean, there's no doubt about it. So I won't ask about market opportunity. It's all there. My question is, you said 35% to 80%. How did you say that?
Okay, so basically this is from a rough estimate that we've spoken. So like when we started our project, how we got this problem statement is from our own building hostel, right? What happened is we couldn't find the water at the particular area of hostel, but just 200 meters away we could find the water. And that's how this problem stuck in our head. So we as a team started working on it. When we did this, we realized the farmers also would be facing a similar problem. When we started contacting different hydrologists and different farmers, we have a small department of farmers, for agriculture in our college, where a few farmers sit. When we went and spoke to them, this is how the costs came out, and they told that in Karnataka, they are farmers from the villages of Karnataka, where they're saying that there's no water available today, and this was again verified when we met the minister, who said the same in his maiden speech, that they are not allowing anymore to dig wells because all the wells are failing, sir.
So it's your best estimate as of now, is what
Of course, it's a rough estimate.
I have another thought. Rather than going after actually digging bore wells, I think you should look at the data, because there is a company called Ambi. They actually presented it to us a couple of years ago. They began the problem to actually look at the air quality. And their idea was to improve the air quality. Eventually, they pivoted to give you an air quality map across the country or across the globe, and now they're integrated with Google Maps. So a better use would be to actually build out these maps, put it on platforms so anybody can use it. And then you're a data play. You're not dependent on the government. You're not dependent on anybody to execute the solution. Yeah.
Right, sir. Thank you so much.
You should talk to Ambi actually, because they've actually done this for air, and you could do it for water.
Yeah, I think if I could say something, I think we had the very similar plan to work on it. But then we had a few obstructions where people started telling us that if you make this private, I think the government had made, the ISRO had made this, so as I told you, ISRO has this data, why don't they just make it publicly available? That's a very question that I think many of you here would be having, even the audiences. So that is because when, in the middle, they had, when the satellite was launched, they had made this data publicly available, and every hydrologist across the country started exploiting the water. That's something that the government wants to stop. So why we are actually only targeting the government is because it is not just about finding the right bowel, but also recharging the particular place. Recharge activities can be planned very well if the solution to this is cracked. And why I'm confident the solution to this is cracked? Because this is a proven implemented model in the countries abroad.
At the outset, Rakshit, thank you very much for introducing all the startups. Sun is already set, but we are seeing that entrepreneurs are rising in, in this platform. Look at the problems they are solving. The waste problem, water problem, education, and it's such a big problem as juries are already identified. Each of them are now quantified in its own capacities and the levels as well. And thank you for the audience, accepting my request, being very patient and then absolutely, silent and listening to them. And it also proves that, sir, I think if you look at the crowd, it proves that, they're all interested to know, what this young budding entrepreneurs, wanted to, achieve. So through their startup ideas, and then it's evident today that all our hard work from last 3 months has been kind of paying off. I know there's a long way to go for them, but a journey on their way, and a lot of learnings for them as well. We'll take a short break here, 10 minutes tea break, and then after that we'll announce the winners of this grand finale competition. Thank you very much.
I would like to call Shivshankar sir to announce the prize winners, the most exciting event or exciting moment of this evening.
Thank you, Kritika. And yeah, we are coming to the last part of the today's session. I know this is one of the hardest thing every time when we land into this particular time. So announcing the who is at the top and who is the next best kind of a thing. As we keep telling all the participants from the beginning, we are not looking at this as a competitions. There is no winners and losers. It's just few of the ideas or few of the innovators. So slightly better than others. That's the only differentiation. But the journey of all 5 teams, including those who are participated in semi-final, will continue to happen, and then they'll be in touch with TiE Mysuru, the mentors, and the collaborative team which they supported all this time. So before I announce the winners, I would like to call upon all the juries on the stage and quick feedback, and then your perception on. I know that is very generic, but if you could share your perspective on that, could you please?
See, when I walked into this room, I was, I'll mainly address the students or the entrepreneurs who are about to start their businesses. So when I entered, I remembered an event that ended in San Francisco. How does a revolution sound like? What will be the environment when revolutions happen? So Joe Castello, some of you may know, he is a legendary CEO in the EDI industry. So he was telling it will be just like this in a room. Few people talking, some activity. Positive changes take a lot of time. Negative changes like war gear is sudden. So I remember, Sudhanva sir was mentioning when he took over the president. 20 years back when I started the job or business, somebody told you, right? Kelsa madalwa antara helidru. So I was talking over tea to somebody. When we graduated, we were in the queue to get a job in a government sector, right? So that is the subtle changes. Here are budding, young people who are not even thinking of a job, but starting and asking 60 lakhs, 80 lakhs, 7 crores. But that's exactly how revolutions happen, friends. So we had, in a way, tough job, in a way, easy job. We were given a criteria. So, and when we heard, we were truly impressed. And I will end it with one request. So, see, we had always in this back of our mind that the winner whom we are going to announce should represent in a global competition. A scale of the problem should be global, right? So, whomever we are going to announce, Shiv Shankar is going to announce or we will announce, prove us right that you are indeed thinking of a big problem. And then Shark Tank is full of stories. And actually Shiv Shankar hit the hit it on the head when he said this is not a competition. We just on a certain criteria, we just voted and that's about it. So those, all of you, please prove us that so what, we did not come from first or runners up, but the idea proved in the market. Don't get punched the way it was shown in the video, right? So we wish you all the best. And every meeting like this is a steps towards a revolution that is happening in the spirit of entrepreneurship that's coming up. And what a wonderful session by Srini. And I happened to write one book, a book called Business as Yagna. And there I mentioned about an entrepreneur who started business in 87. No role models. Cost of capital was 20%, right? And then government sector, so here is a change times within few decades. Role models like Srini for us and for all of us, we should emulate. And here is ending by saying in next 17 or 18 years, one of you will be standing and telling your story. All the best.
Guys, I know I'm standing between dinner and this, so I'll keep it short. A couple of points for the guys who pitched. The spirit of coming here in a competition itself is a fantastic spirit. That itself shows the entrepreneurship in you, so keep it going. Srini said, don't start a business for keeping the VC in mind. Bear that in mind. For God's sake, don't build a business for a pitch fest. So, while you're here and you get feedback from Gyan givers like us, the journey is yours. So whatever is the outcome of today is the result of 3 old men sitting there. Don't give too much of a damn, but it's a competition. If you win, you win. You lose, you lose. I also want to tell you all as entrepreneurs, I was talking about Indian entrepreneurs, right? We have a cultural issue. We cannot separate the company from us. So if the company loses, we think we are losers. Please continue to differentiate the two. You will have companies that will not succeed. Try again, try again, try again. And with that, I wish you all the best for your future. I'm sure each of you will be successful in your own way. Good luck.
Having seen the last 3 editions of the PitchFest, I must say that this one was the best. We have seen all of you evolve from what you were doing before to now. Today what we saw presentation-wise, problem identification was all definitely the class apart. And I must thank Sudhanva for getting Srini here, because with Srini here, you could actually see what you could build out of Mysore. And it was really inspiring. And if Kikeri had not jumped out, I would have probably jumped out to congratulate you. It was really, really amazing to hear your story. And I'm sure all the people who pitched today can see the future and see what potential Mysore can have. So the excuse of, we are from Mysore, we couldn't make it happen is no more valid. Thank you, Srini, and good luck to all the teams. You definitely have picked something well, and like Srini said, never give up. Thank you.
I think all the juries have seen only in our top 5, and there are a lot of mentors and juries earlier have been gone through the processes and did a great work. So we'll call upon now all the mentors shortly. But before that, when we looked at how to screen all the 100 applications, going through the challenges kind of things. So when the TiE global team put together a fantastic tool and helping us how we can go about it and sorting it out. So I request Pradeep, representing TiE Global, to be part of this. And day in and out, I think the entire TiE Global team is looking at every chapters and supporting us. And TiE Mysuru being a only chapter participating in the TiE University, we had a wholehearted support, and also the youngest chapter, taking this and the mantle and then delivering it is no joke. And thanks for the global team helping it. I request Dhanandesh sir to be on the stage, and I request a token of a token of appreciation for the juries and the global team helping us all the way and then supporting the TiE University competition, and a small token of appreciation from TiE Mysuru to all the juries and then the TiE Global representation.
I've always been with the mic, so I can never let go of the mic. But today I want to take this mic to do something on behalf of TiE Global. I represent the volunteers at the global level. What you're seeing today is the effort of lots of hard work. And I think it is not just that this hard work goes unnoticed. So I want all of you who have been part of the competition, all of you who are guests, to please rise up and give a standing ovation to the entire TiE Mysuru team for the wonderful work that they have done. Mysuru team, take a bow. Where chapters are struggling to get competitors from one city and manage them, this team has got participants from the entire state of Karnataka and got them all. A big chapter like Bangalore was not able to do it, and they took over that responsibility, saying that we will do it. So great job, Mysuru. Amazing job.
So there is always an end and there is always a beginning of these kind of activities. When the TiE Global pitch competition started, TiE Mysuru, in collaboration with IKP KTech Innovation, represented by Raghu and team, did a fantastic job in terms of reaching out to participant, audience, institution across Karnataka. Is not a small work. So in a small token of appreciation, I request Raghunandan to be on the stage and receive a small memento from Dhananjaya sir. Few words, Raghu sir, at the beginning, the challenges, so maybe everybody will understand that.
And before I start, Srini, I think class of 89, we are very fortunate to have you with us those 4 years. Thanks for your presentation. I think this is our second year we've collaborated with TiE Mysuru. And as KTech Innovation Hub, which is a Government of Karnataka initiative, it's our responsibility and to be able to reach out to every corner of the state and to identify entrepreneurs, to identify innovations. So I think this platform has been very good for us. And in the past 2 years, we've learned quite a bit as to how these pitch fests work. And to the TiE team, Sudanva, I think we have some suggestions which we'll take it up. And instead of doing this, we want to make it a year-long initiative. That's the promise that comes from KTech Innovation Hub. We will start the process in the coming month itself. And to all the teams, so we have 5 centers. One in Mysore, we have Rajajinagar in Bangalore, we have Belgavi, Shimoga, and Mangaluru. So any of your teams, any startups who are in that region, feel free to contact us. We would love to support you with, of course, the top 5 teams. You have a free incubation facility. We give you mentorship. We give you a whole lot of support. But feel free to visit our centers. And we look forward to this partnership growing many more miles. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, AKP and KTech Innovation team. Thank you all, juries, and then Pradeep. As all the team has presented well on the stage, there is one more activities keep on happening from the beginning. the mentors were important part of the this entire journey. And I request the mentors from TiE Mysuru chapter, either charter members or maybe associated members who supported all the team from the beginning. I request Sudhanva sir to be back on the stage, and a token of certification and appreciation for your time, for your valuable inputs. It goes long way for everybody, and as we keep on mentioning that, so it's the beginning and there is a journey, it's continue to happen. So I request Dr. Mahesh Rao to be on the stage. Vijayanand Gurudev. So mentors play an important role in all the aspects of that. Vijayanand Gurudev. Viren Rajan. Sri Lakshmi Desi Raju. Sabrishan sir. Achyuta Bachalli. Raghunandan. I request Pawan and then Ajit to honor the certificate, please. Satish Ramanna. Yeah, he's here. Arsha Kikeri. Srinidhi. Abhiram Shripati. Not yet. Ajit, please. Srinivasan PK. Pramod BN. Nagarajan Srinivas. Srinath Birur. Thank you all for the great support and time. I request all three of you stay back on the stage. So there's a big announcement now. We mentioned that this is again the competition is a part of that. We need to announcing a winners and the runners up as well. There is a much more has been already offered on the table. As Raghunandan mentioned, there is a incubation option, and mentorship will continue for all the top finalists. There are other programs and schemes are coming up. It will be extended to all the finalists plus those who are in the semi-final journey as well. So the big part, the winners and the runners-up. I'll go from the from the last to first. The finalist. Would it hit the top one now? Team Code Echo at the top of the table. The winner. I request Anand Bhatt to be on the stage, please. A very thin, as I said, it's going through the criteria, very small differentiation, but we appreciate efforts and the journey they have gone through that. So I request all the members from the TiE to hand over the certification, the mementos, and then the cash award of 75,000. Yashwant Jain, Vaishnavi Deepak, Arpan Abhishek, the memento and then the presentation present for the entire team. Now the big thing, a cash prize of 75,000. Team Code Echo. I request Team Kodak to stay back on the stage, please. Now the two runners-up is always a challenge for the juries. I have seen that because when we are doing for from 100 to 60, 60 to 20, and a top 5, I think is always a tough job again. So two runners-up, drone automation and then aeronauts. A cash prize of 25,000, a trophy, and a memento. Suraj from Drone Automation. The memento and then the cash prize of the 25,000. Team Aeronauts. Gautami and Jitendra. A certificate, memento, and then the cash prize of 25,000. Now I call upon both the finalists in the top 5 Job Setu team and then the Bin to Bricks. Appreciate and congratulations. Please be on the stage. I request Sunanda Dhananjay sir and then jury stand over the certificate to all the team members of Bin to Bricks and then the Job Setu team. Job Setu team, Shreyas and the team, Chandrakant. I request all the finalists to be back on the stage along with the jury team and then the President TiE Mysuru for a photo.
I think they deserve a loud round of applause, don't they? Shiva, I need the mic for 30 more seconds, more to do my official duty. All of you must be wondering what happens next, especially the teams. So the team that's won today will represent Mysuru at the global stage, where they will be competing with 31 other teams representing 15 other countries, vying for a top prize of $50,000. So the first prize at the global stage is $50,000. That's close to around 35 lakh. Cash prize, no equity. So that's what the winning team will be vying for at the global stage. The second and third team, they will also be part of all the global workshops and boot camps, including some of them worth around $10,000 that will happen over the next 2 months. Usually everyone tells you you're not a loser, don't worry. But here, literally, I want to tell you, facts tell you that don't worry if you didn't come number 1, 2, or 3. Last year, the team that came in 10th at the Atlanta competition recently got funded $5.5 million. So it's not about the numbers that happened here, right? The team that came 4th in Houston was recently acquired just 6 months into their business by a large company for almost $15 million. So don't worry about the numbers on the stage, but all the best. The second reason why I came to the stage is to ask something out of Mysuru. As the global team, now we are responsible for 31 different teams who are the winners, and apart from that, 62 different teams who are the runner-ups and second runner-ups. And we really need a lot of people who can give back in terms of mentoring. So now you're done mentoring your children. Now we want you to help us mentor the global children, children from other countries who would benefit out of whatever experience you have. So we will reach out to you by email, but it's my humble request that if you can spend 4 or 5 hours over the next 1.5 months, please do reach out to Shiva and team and let us know what skills you would bring on board and which kind of teams you would want to mentor. We would love to have you as mentors. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pradeep. Not only that, again, all the top finalists will be getting a TiE Mysuru chapter associate membership for 1 year free, and incubation support from IKP and STEP. And the third one, those who fit into the accelerator program to take it to the next level. It will kickstart in 1 month's time, so you'll be getting an opportunity to that. And fourth one, if it is really exciting to you, apply for few schemes is available. Startup India Seed Scheme and as well as the Nidhi Prayas, those who are having a product, get onto that and then make the best use of those funds available before you go on venturing out for the angel investments as well. And that will come to the conclusions part now.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the session 2 of today's evening on Founders Series. From Mysuru to the world. I am Kritika, Associate Member, TiE Mysuru Chapter from MIT Mysore. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to this Founders Series. Before I formally start this session, I would like to brief about TiE Mysuru. TiE Mysuru is one of the youngest chapter started in 2018 and actively promoting entrepreneurship ecosystem in Mysuru region. We have been active for 3 years and promoting entrepreneurship through mentoring, networking, educating, investing, and incubations. Our members of TiE are actively mentoring and hand-holding the startup women entrepreneurs and building student community in this region. TiE Mysuru is hosting and participating in all the global events such as TiE University, Women Entrepreneurship, and other workshops and events. TiE Mysuru has a strong network of 150 members. Now, I invite Mr. Sudanma Dhananjaya, President, TiE Mysuru chapter, to formally deliver the welcome address to this August gathering.
Good evening again. I think that was a better introduction to TiE Mysuru than I did earlier. Thank you very much for whatever I missed. It's nice to have this two-part event, and nice to have Srinivas Vardarajan. Thank you, Srini, for accepting to be here and deliver this address today. We have been, as you rightly pointed out, there is a founder series, there is an investor series, there is TiE University, there are so many streams, TiE Angels, which hopefully will become active, and we'll see some angel funding happening in Mysuru too. So it's a great pleasure to welcome Srini today to deliver the keynote for the day. I've known Srini for 3 decades, maybe more, 4 decades. You're not that old, but 3 decades for sure. And I've been a witness to an amazing journey from a startup to incubation to a fantastic company that you've set up. I think your story will inspire a lot of young entrepreneurs. In Mysore, we want you to be more visible. TiE is a platform which you should use to inspire more people, more young entrepreneurs and more of us to emulate what you've done. So with that, welcome you all for the second part of today's event. Srini, stage is yours, and we look forward to your address. Please.
We can see many new faces in this evening. So next, it's not the Red Bull that gives you the wing, it's the TiE Mysuru chapter that gives the wings for all the young budding entrepreneurs over here. Next, I would like to call Dr. Mahesh Rao, board member, TiE Mysuru, to introduce the new members of the TiE Mysuru.
Good evening. It was a wonderful presentation today by 5 teams which came in here, talked about their aspirations and how they want to scale up, how they want to grow. In the same sense, we have quite a few new members who have joined TiE Mysuru. And I would like to start with recognizing some of the associate members. And to begin with, Satish Ramanna, is he here? Welcome to TiE Mysuru. Satish Ramanna comes with, he's a co-founder of City on Net Marketplace Services. City on Net, India's first omni-channel marketplace. Product available at stores across categories in 720 cities. So Satish and I go back a long time, about 20 years, we know each other. So welcome, Satish. Next, Preetam Shivanna, CEO Q Access. Is he here? Preetam? Okay. So he is he works in Q Access, which is a premium scooter company, electric scooter company. Next, Vishwas NR. Hi, Vishwas, co-founder, DeadGen Private Limited, startup used in Mysore, providing cloud-based technology to anti-counterfeiting solution. So most probably he's going to be working very closely with RBI in Mysore, so, right? No, maybe the next thing. Okay, so thank you. Next, Anand Bhatt. He is joined as one of our TiE Mysuru member. And then the latest, as of today, Venkatesh, RIIIT, he has joined today. So very nice to see him joining us. And I know him for a long time. So let's hope that all the new members bring in a lot of vitality and visibility about the TiE programs to the rest of the Mysuru. Thank you very much, and I hope you all have a wonderful journey with us. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It's never brimming to listen about all the adventures that has been accomplished by the entrepreneur. So next, I would like to call upon Professor Kishan from MIT Mysore to introduce the speaker.
Thank you so much, madam. A very good evening, all. It's been a pleasure to introduce the speaker of this particular today's session. Mr. Srinivas is an innovator entrepreneur, having a master degree in computer science from IIT Bombay. He has been in the industry for 30 years and has 7 US patents. Currently, he is the co-founder and CEO of Vigyanlabs, startup engaged in providing sustainability solutions for endpoint, building and data center or cloud. He also serves as Vice President and Governing Body Member on the Board of Cloud Computing Innovation Council of India. Srini mentors startups in the Founder Institutes, which is a global network of startups and mentors. He provides technology advisory services to UIDAI, India Post, Asian Development Bank, Ernst & Young, and Technotree, to name a few. His interests are in sustainability, cloud computing, artificial intelligence and machine learning, energy management. His other interests includes astronomy, alternative medicines, and yoga. It's my pleasure to introduce you to the audience, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Without wasting much of the time, I would like to hand over the session to Mr. Srinivas Vardarajan.
Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here in front of a very energetic audience. I hope I can inspire some of you and make a difference to the city of Mysuru. Basically, what I want to talk about is, just my life history, right? Basically, because everything you do, there's a reason behind it or an event behind it. So, what made me to be an entrepreneur? Let me talk. I just want to talk about, I grew up in Mysuru all my life and moved around the world and finally came back to Mysuru. Let me tell you what I did, right? I studied in Mysuru itself. The primary school was it's called a railway school, right? Like a nursery and primary school in Ontikoppal, right? Near the temple. Grew up there. Then I went to DMS. I think quite a few of you are from DMS. Then did my PU in Marimala Pass. Then engineering in JCE and my MTech at IIT Mumbai. I think the education, was a very important aspect. I'll walk you through what I learned, what I did during my school days, college days, and what I was learning from there and how it helped me in future. We talk about drones today. Actually, in 1980, we made a wild drone. We didn't have battery. We made a transformer at home, put connected about 30, 40 meters of wires, long wires, and ran a drone. So it was powered through AC, through eliminator, home mode eliminator, 5 rupee motor, 2 motors to propeller to run, and it didn't have enough energy to take off. We had to lift it, and then after that it started rotating. Okay, so that was basically we, I had a couple of friends near my home. We used to experiment, right? Try out experiment. We had long summer vacations, Dasara vacations, and December. I think Christmas vacations. There was time to play around, do some hacking and things. So I think in my school days, I think demonstration school gave us a good platform. There was an excellent lab, good faculty. You could go around. I think there are a lot of equipment available in the lab to experiment, right? Pretty much it was, mostly unused. So I got the liberty to use up all the equipment in the lab and do experiments. Next thing was, probably I was fascinated by electric vehicles in 80s. So saw in Mumbai and other part north of India, I just came back and said, why can't we make an electric train? So we made a prototype of a train. We'll try about how, so we made a prototype using wood and steel, right? So next was always just about intrigued about nature. Actually, I don't know, those of you understand Kannada, there's a leaf called bilpatre. I used the leaves and put on copper and bronze coins, and we made a cell. We could run actually, I remember that it was a Casio watch at the time, popular in the 80s. We could run the watch for a week. So, okay. There. Then 83, we built a small telescope, there was one nice, optician in Mysuru. He was an old man in his 60s, but he could make the lenses as per my specification. And he used to charge me 2 rupees, 3 rupees. So we made a small telescope at the time. And a lot of my friends used it. And after the school, I donated the telescope to the school. Later again, we were always excited about electronics. Assembled a radio. A couple of my friends, I think we spent 300 rupees at the time. It's a lot of money. I fell short of 50 rupees. It required 350 rupees. I got a 300 rupees scholarship. And one of my uncles gave me 50 rupees to make the radio. So learning, excited, we used the radio for almost a couple of decades to listen to cricket commentaries. Things were exciting. Then a dream was to make a bigger telescope. Again, 1984 or 5, Halley's Comet came. Except the Mysuru University, there's no big telescope. I think there was one Dr. Shankar, I got in touch with him in ISC. He had written a book, How to Build a Telescope. And we had a couple of, people in Mysuru, physics in the University of Physics department. They inspired me. And one of the person who inspired me was Dr. Prasad in Ari, who was a very well-known physicist and also astronomer. Then again, next year I got another 300 rupees scholarship. 300 rupees, we built a telescope. Actually, today I have the best of the telescopes in the world. I have the Meade and everything else. But my 300 rupee telescope works better than the commercial ones, for today. It's almost 35 years. So I have an array of telescopes now, 6 inch, 8 inch, 12 inch. So one is bought, other 2 are made at home. Okay. I think again we wanted to do something in the college days, and I came to JC. We wanted to solve the problem. The tube lights, the chokes used to go off. The chokes used to go off. And we said, let us make an electronic choke. And then we tried experimenting the choke. It started working, but one day we made a mistake, and the capacitor blew, and there's a big blast in the lab, and our ENC HOD threw us out of the lab. So don't come here again. Okay. Then again continued that I got hold of some hobby kit with some solar cells. So we made an automatic street light because we saw the street light being on all the time. But I don't think we could get anything with KEB, right? We put a relay, assembled everything. What you call today IoT, we made it in 1988. Dawn, dusk, the light turns on. Dawn, the light goes off. We made everything, but I don't think, we neither understood business nor commercial model at that time. Nor, there was no way to work with KEB at that time, right? Okay. The interesting thing, see where destiny take. 89, I was always interested in hardware, making some, designs, boards and other things, right? So actually we went to Wipro. They gave us a project to design a multiprocessor system. It's pretty exciting. I think nobody in the world had done a multiprocessor system. We started working on it. Somewhere some influential person got the project to his kid in Mysuru. Okay. So then we said, what do we know now? We'll figure out. So if you remember today, we have color printers. The late 80s, there was no color printer. And I find, I think with many of the Dr. Chidanand Gowda and SJC, there was a lot of work going on, in image processing. People wanted to print color pictures. There was no printer. So what we did was we looked at plotter. A plotter was lying idle. We said, can we do something? We use the plotter. So what you call artificial intelligence today, we did it almost long back. So what we did was basically when you did an alt print screen, you used to print the message, print the printer, right? But you could never print color. So we mapped the alt print screen, captured the image buffer in the PC, and converted to vectors, learned the messages, and then used the plotter to print it. It has worked amazingly. I think most of my friends, my colleagues, classmates who did all projects used the plotter. I think I was the only one user of the plotter in HP in JC, and that was quite an amazing thing to do here. Then after that, I said I want to learn about networking. Okay, so then I just figured out that I need to go to IT. We didn't have the infrastructure here in Mumbai, so I went there, IT Mumbai. IT was an exciting place. They had good computers and network. One of the challenges we faced was while working in the computer science department, network is to go down. Or if you want to go to the library, right, you have to walk all the way. In IIT, what happens is it rains all 3 months like hell. We have to walk all the way from hostel or department to library and find out the book is borrowed. Again, walk back. Although their computers were there, not interconnected. Their networks were there, they were interconnected. Then I thought about how do we interconnect all the networks in the campus. You needed something called a bridge. At that time, only thing available was a hardware bridge. Some box you can connect only 2 networks. And I think IIT didn't have the money. It costed 2 lakhs per bridge to do one. Then we said, why can't you do something? Take up a old PC and build a bridge. Build a multi-port bridge to connect. So what you call Ethernet switching today. So I and another colleague of Nitin, we invented Ethernet switching. Okay. Unfortunately, we didn't patent it, otherwise Cisco wouldn't have existed today, right? So that was a learning again. And I think with 1991, internet came to India. Globally, I think, there were 10,000 downloads. Then later we wanted to make a hardware prototype. I think by today's standards, I think the IIT director gave me about 2.5 lakh rupees. But it was not enough to make a hardware because things were so expensive in India at the time. Right? I think we required 1 crore rupees to make a hardware bridge. We designed it but could never do it because there was no money. Right? All the money they had, I think I got all the funds for research in that year from the IT. Then I said, and then we did quite a bit of innovations. We built a multi-protocol router at the time. Novel NetWare was there, Unix was there. How to connect Unix to PC Windows, right? So we built a multi-protocol router. We built a protocol analyzer. So it was an exciting time in IIT. We did an experiment. The whole lab was left to us, and we did learn a lot of things from there at IIT. Next, after that, I was again found out that Hughes network system was starting in India. They were building up. IIT didn't have any money to fund my research. I said, let me go and join an enterprise who is willing, who has some funds and business to do. So we joined Hook Software Systems. We built amazing set of products in India, probably first time in India. Some things I couldn't do in IIT. I did part of them. We built the world's smallest router, firewalls, router switches. We made a $500 router in 1994. So you got the interop, we won the awards, many products. Later, I think after 95, I think Hughes was moving to Gurgaon. I don't think Gurgaon was a livable place in Delhi at the time. I said, no longer stay in Delhi, go back to Mysuru. Bangalore, came back to Bangalore, worked as a HP. Couple of things I learned in HP. How to file a patent. Nobody knew. So we were tasked with building one of the world's largest systems. And that was basically one of the largest airline reservation systems is Amadeus. Amadeus had a mainframe system. They want to convert it to open source because their cost of maintenance was $5 million per mainframe. There are tons of them. So first time a no open system, we built a solution using open systems, standard Unix. And I will tell you, by today's standards, it looks amazing. We had a 80 megahertz processor, 32 MB RAM. We had to support 2 lakh concurrent users, 2000 TPS with 5 milliseconds response time. I'm sure most of the web applications today won't meet the standards. So if you look at the strobe, see the challenges we faced in this one, in the building the system was, we needed new hardware. So everything in the project we got was new. It was the first C++ company in the world, it didn't work. The first multi-threaded operating system, it didn't work. So we debugged everything. The OS, the drivers, everything we debugged. And we wrote the entire C++ library from scratch, right? Scratch there. And there was a lot of learning. Then we figured out we did a lot of innovations there. Then that's how we got in touch with the HP, one of my managers in HP who was in US, you knew about patents, he connected me to an attorney in Singapore. I learned about how to file a patent. So I was the first person to file a patent for HP in India, right? It was a big achievement at the time. Then once I filed the patent, I think I started learning about evangelizing how to write patents. We used to conduct innovation contests in HP. So I became the sort of a de facto patent attorney in India and finally Asia Pac, because every patent used to come to me for review whether the company should invest money in filing a patent or not. So by reviewing patents, you learn a lot of things actually, because you get to know a lot of things, what is happening in the world and so on. Then I think somewhere down the line, I think we want to build India was modernizing with ATMs. So I built the core banking solution in India, first core banking solution ever built in India. Today it looks obvious, but it was very challenging. In 1999, 2000, right? It was very challenging to build a core banking solution in India, right? So we did the core Bank of India, then Bank of Baroda. Everybody followed since then, okay? Then did amazing things in HP at the time. That one of the companies must have been our DHL, right? DHL acquired from Airborne and many other companies together. So DHL throws a challenge. Can your open systems handle 1 billion transactions? Can you demonstrate that? And open systems had done only few 100 million a day. So we actually spent 6 months, the labs in HP actually demonstrated DHL, actually made it live 1 billion transactions a day in a single server today, right? Okay. Then after that, I thought, in working around the world, why can't do something here, right? Back home, we'll do something here. There are opportunities in India. So I left HP in 2005, after spending a long time there, a decade of the war. Then actually, we went to Perot Systems to ask for business, but somehow the CTO had left, so we got a 2-year contract to set up a because Dell never had any innovation system, right? Innovation ecosystem. So they asked us to set up the innovation lab in Dell. So we spent a 2-year, myself and a colleague. We set up the innovation center for Dell in India, staffed the people with about 80 people, 80 techies, then came back. And that's how the journey of Vigyanlabs started, right? So 2008 started in Bangalore. Actually, we didn't know what to do. We said we'll build something sustainably green. And what we'll do, we'll figure out on the way. Because unless you jump into the water, you will never learn swimming, right? You can keep on, okay? So one thing we said, everything we do has to be Indian, different. So the logo of Vigyanlabs, we drew at home. Below, we put kumkum and actually drew it and photo, and that's how that became the logo for us, right? We said everything has to be Indian, the name, everything has to be Indian. So that was our belief that we have been working abroad for all the years, Indian. So we started, consulting. I think we never knew sales. I was a techie all the time. So put up a post on LinkedIn, starting. Next day, somebody from Mindtree called us. They gave immediate PO order, small order. Then I think somewhere down the line, Sudanma gave us quite a bit of business, training and consulting. And 2009, we said, we did a proprietorship. Now I think we know how to run a business. Let's start a private limited. Because I don't think LLPs were there at that time. So so we said we moved to STEP. AC took an incubation center there. That one. And somewhere towards 2009-10, I think Vatsa, my colleague Vatsa, had met Nandan somewhere else, somewhere. So he knew that we had designed Amadeus and very large systems in the world. So we got in touch with Nandan and said, why don't you come and help me build the Aadhaar design infrastructure architecture, do the entire design. So we got into Aadhaar. That was an eye-opener for us, I think we made amazing innovations in Aadhaar today. It was about of physics, maths, pretty much everything, all we studied in all my life. We studied all the national, we didn't know anything about biometrics at the time. So we got one person, Dr. Anil Jain and Jim Wayman, who came to India for 2 days. 2 days we did a brain dump. Within 3-4 days we were biometric experts. We learned everything. And one of the challenges in doing a national ID project like this was most of the countries had spent $50 per enrollment to provide a card to a citizen, ID to a citizen. $50. Look at the 140 crore. $50, we didn't have the money in the country to do that. What do you do there, right? We said we need to cut the cost drastically. Second thing was risk. No biometric system was designed for more than 20 crore population, never tested. So we did interesting strategy. So a couple of principles we adopted. We'll use all open source tools, technologies. We use commodity infrastructure. Nothing, no vendor lock-in. Next, I think the biggest one was our innovation both in the procurement and the design. Basically, if you want to do a biometric system, you need to compare every finger with every finger, right? If mathematically it becomes n into n plus 1 by 2, right? N square comparison. So if you do n square comparison for a 140 crore what do you call a gallery data, 140 crore plus one person has to be, 10 fingers has to be compared into 140 crore into 10, every finger and matched. The amount of computation was just so extensive, enormous. I think we needed 1 lakh servers. And we looked at data center requirement, power. I don't think Bangalore or Delhi, the city had any power to power. So we need to now cut down drastically, right? The requirements to cut down drastically. So we did an algorithm, we got a better algorithm, and we were able to actually theoretically prove that you don't need 1 lakh servers, we can do it about 5,000-6,000 servers. And nobody believed us. And all the hardware lobby from US came and derailed the project for 6 months, saying that it's not possible. So what happened, we just kept quiet. While we had a mathematical proof, we said, we'll just do a pilot. So by the time this lobby was going on quietly, we were doing a pilot. We had data for about 20 crore people. So our algorithm was actually proved. Then the whole project changed, right? So that's how we were able to reduce the cost of enrollment from $50 to $1, less than $1. I think Nandan finally had a budget at 14,000 crores. We ended up doing 7,000 crores. It's quite drastically, I think, almost, So what were the learnings from Aadhaar? You can build large-scale goals of the world in India by Indians. So what I call is, we talk about, monuments, right? Historical monuments, I think. But what has happened today is a system like Aadhaar is a digital monument. Can be another Taj Mahal of today, right? It was fairly complex. I think, we had an amazing team, worked 24/7, no sleep, day and nights, because it was we were set to an impossible task. Everything in the system was to be proven, nothing was proven. So, a couple of things we learned from Aadhaar was that, we had set up while we were running a data center in Airtel, the systems got very hot. Airtel said, I can't give you power. You take your systems out of here. So we did some jugaad and reduce the power consumption. Then we discussed with Nandan and others. We said, let's call all the experts in the world to come and see how much energy they can cut down. So we set a goal of 50%. But after doing the pilots and evaluation of every technology in the world, right? Everybody came to India to showcase, because there was a big project for them, opportunity for them. People committed only 10%. So then Aadhaar got over. I came back. So then we said the problem was there. We studied the data center market worldwide and IT infrastructure. Actually, at that time, IT infrastructure in the world consumed more energy than the airline industry. We said, we know the problem and there's no solution in the market today, right? Solution in the market. So we did a prototype. So we got some new ideas. First thing we did was a file a patent. It was a lesson learned in the IT. First thing to do was a prototype, immediately filed a patent, US patent, okay? Filed a patent. And we tested in our lab, and luckily JC was there to help us. JC gave 1,000 computers first to validate our algorithm. So 1,000 computers, we achieved 42%, so it was phenomenal. So prototype worked, and we just, we showcased the prototype in the NASSCOM. Probably we were the first startup in the history of NASSCOM to get a Technology Innovation Award. And then after that, customers started coming, right? Then we started building the product. So I raised some funds. We got a seed from Step, and we got some funds from friends and family to build a productize it to enterprise level, take it in there. So somewhere down the line in the 2014, I was invited to Red Herring Award. We got the Red Herring Award for sustainability. So somewhere on the way, I stopped out in Singapore. I had a coffee chat with somebody, one of my friends. Somebody overheard us about energy and all. So some Japanese guy heard us and said, he came to me and said, do you have something exciting? Oh, look, what you have is exciting. There's a Fukushima disaster in Japan. I'd be interested in working with your product, working with you. Then I said, I came back to Mysore. We contacted him. He said, I want to evaluate a product. We just gave the patent. It was not, I think it was granted by the time. It was granted. Then we sent him the evaluation copy, downloaded, installed. Within 3 days, he had done the evaluation. He said, I want this product. Only thing is, I want you to convert it to Japanese, right? So I just contacted some friends in Japan, got a Japanese contractor to convert everything to Japanese. And within a couple of months, it was converted to Japanese. And there was actually a lesson for us while doing. Our team learned a lot of new things for us. We did a QA because we knew Japan was a tough market. Because every company first goes to India, other countries and go. Japan is the last. We were the company, we were first got a project in Japan. That was for 3 million machines, right? 3 million licenses. That was a big number for us, big number for us. When we started testing software, I think our team said everything is tested, everything is fine. Make a release to Japan, you will find some bug. Our guys fix it, you'll find another bug. Then we figured out the way Japanese test is different from way we test. So our team used to click some button and test something. Okay, it worked fine. Japanese guys used to do the same thing 10 times, 15 times. So our team said, okay, let us do all the tests 15 times. It worked. But again, that guy next time he gave, it failed again. I think our approach in India to testing is somehow make it pass. Whether it's testing or education system, somehow make it pass. Japanese approach is how to make it fail. Because if you cannot make it fail, the product is good, right? Luckily, because of that work with the Japanese team, we got a culture in the company to build better products, that change the mindset of people to build better quality products and the better way of testing, right? Okay. So we shipped 3 million in Japan, to Japan, and then over time, we shipped to around the world. And 2015, Gartner recognized as a cool vendor again. Next, we want to do something in India, right? Energy consumption was high. I wrote a letter to the government, everybody, nothing ever happened, right? So we made a strategy. Someone went to SBI, wrote a letter to SBI, nothing ever happened. Tried to meet managers, nobody showed interest. We heard that Arundhati Bhattacharya, she was a very innovator. I said, somehow how to get an appointment with her? It was not possible, right? We had to put a scheme. So we found out which all the conference is a speaker. So we found out one conference in Bangalore, World Cultural Conference, she was a speaker. I said, we bought a ticket there, went there. But, we couldn't catch her. All the way, there were enough people around her. She went to the car. But I got just 1 minute, less than a minute of time with her. I told, madam, I have exciting technology. I can save 30 crore rupees for you. I think that struck her mind. She came back after a month. Our CTO of SBI called us. Whole team of SBI was there to welcome us. We spent one full day workshop at SBI. End of the workshop, Arundhati told the team, it's a lovely product. I want it implemented in 3 months. You find out a way. I don't care about tender. You find out a way. So 3 months, SBI worked, day and night to test our product, verify our product. And first time in the history of SBI gave us a 12 crore contract without a tender, right? So this is about SBI. We are the only vendor in India. SBI reports proudly in their annual report. Every year in the annual report, they feature us. Other products come and go, but we are there forever. I think any SBI computer in the country, we are there. Kiosk, any machine, we are there in 25,000 branches, almost nearly 3 lakh machines, right, there today. So basically our original aim was to build a data center product, but we started the desktop because in an enterprise, nobody accepts a data center product straight away because it has to be proven again and again, enough times, right? You look at Microsoft, they build desktop, then they went into the server market, right? Because nobody trusts you, IT never trusts you. So 2018, we said, now let's, we have proven the algorithm in millions of machines around the world, let's start building a data center product. So again, raise some more capital, and we built I think 2019, and we had a pilot done, we had a product ready. And 2020, we launched the product. I think then we're supposed to get a very large order in Europe, big one. It's a massive, 25,000 servers. Then COVID came in, data center got, the people were affected. Nothing happened, right? So COVID was I would say a big game changer for us. It changed our perspective of thinking. Because some of the cases, we used to make good money by taking a percentage of revenue shared. Some cases as much as 50% of revenue, customers willing to pay us. But when the offices got closed, our revenue took a really bad beating, right? Literally. Then we said, so what we said was we talked to all our customers. I said, what can we do for you? We have been serving you for so many years. I know my revenue has gone. Can you help us? We talked to all the customers. I think very insightful feedback came from customers. We want cloud. Because everything is remote now. I can't in-house. So the second thing I said was, when people are working from home, none of the software which used to work in the office works. You already have a software installed on machines. Can you do something on it to make it work? So one of the things, for example, ICC group said was that when people are at home, it's an insecure environment, not a corporate environment. So my endpoint security is PC laptop securities, PCs are vulnerable. Can you add security to that one? I'm not able to push a patch because most of the products in India is in America, not for India, right? Nobody has a 2 GB per day Reliance pack in America, right? You use a different pack. So here many people buy, for internet browsing, they buy a hotspot, you 2 GB limits. If you push a 3 GB pack, 3 GB patch to the machine, that day he cannot work. So that used to happen in every other machine. So most of the products in India never worked. So we quietly built all the product. Basically, most of the customers in India, to manage a desktop remotely, they need to 5-6 products. So we had the bandwidth, time. We had an agent sitting on every desktop. So we were able to. So we actually built the entire portfolio of products. Whatever you need on a desktop, we have replaced all the products in the market today by a single product. So most of our customers, we replaced 5-6 products by a single product. For a customer, it was a big value proposition. One product, one vendor, one team to manage, and then of course lower costs, operational costs. Then along with came, one was a PC, but he said we were hungry for more business, right? We understood energy. We said we had energy efficient solution software. We were able to save 30 to 40%. And customers are saying, I'm willing to go for cloud. Amazon is so expensive, Azure is so expensive. But we always thought, since we had done Aadhaar and a couple of other national ID projects, we had a fair amount of budgeting because we did the DPRs. We had a cost, we pretty much knew all the cost structures, everything. But we said we should invent something differently and build a more cost efficient. We should be, beat Amazon in the cost structures and be more efficient. And because we were energy efficient, our operational costs were much, much lower than anybody. So we set out in 2021 during the COVID time, right? 2020. So we're planning to build have our own building where we can demonstrate all our products, right? A green building demonstrating all our products. So while this data center idea came into mind, one customer came and said, who were actually hosting in Equinox. And they had multiple downtimes in a year. Customer said, actually, we just had the building shell. If you can set up the cloud for me here, I'll migrate. But the customer gave only 2 months time, 60 days. We just a building. And during COVID time, it was a challenge. I think a lot of vendors helped. We had 200 people working day and night for 2 months. We laid about 40 to 50 kilometers of fiber in the city. And we got a data center up and running in record 2 months. I think a typical worldwide is 8 to 12 months to build a data center from the sheer backbone, but we got it in record 2 months time. That's why we launched IPM Plus Green Cloud in 2021. I'm proud to say that, must have seen everybody says my data center is 99999. That 0.01 nobody talks about. It fails, everything goes, right? I'm glad to say that from October 1st, 2020 to till now, we had 0 downtime. That's went down. And to 2021, we got the NASSCOM AI Game Changer Award because what powers everything is AI. And one of our philosophy has been not to take any third-party software, build everything your own. So we didn't use any AI engine because we found AI engines required GPUs, and GPU is energy hungry. And being energy efficiency company, we can't use a GPU. So no way, GPU is banned. So we built our AI engine, we call it PowerMind, and AI engine is used in the cloud, provisioning, management, pretty much everything. It's a lightweight code, it can run on the edge, it can run on a phone, as well as a server, it can run across the board, so it's own AI engine powered. And we launched the Green Cloud with completely open source tools, commodity infrastructure, and whole management software is built by us, right? All our products were actually, they were disparate products, we integrated everything together. Okay, and launched the cloud. So what's the impact we have done globally today, right? Globally. We are a net positive company today. And the amount of energy we have saved is 1.8 terawatt hour, which is enough power to Mumbai, right? Or is equal to set up a 600 megawatt power station, right? So the amount of money we have saved, is almost, thousands of crores for our customers worldwide. Although the customers didn't give us all the money, but we have done a big social impact. I feel that, and we can do much more. And one of the things has been prolific has been we have been filing patents all the while. Since my HP days, I had learned a lesson from first IIT, right? Never let any innovation go out without filing a US patent. First thing we file. And luckily, we do a lot of research in the patent. all our patents get granted exactly in 18 months' time, not a single day, more or less. Because we do a thorough job, and the patent examiner is convinced that he's a good, immediately grants a patent. So we got the 7th patent a couple of weeks back that, system method to analyze application level resource energy consumption. So pretty much we have conquered the real estate of energy and server optimization today. So we own the real estate. Okay? I mean, real intellectual estate, I would say. Okay. Intellectual estate, okay. As a country, I think we should move from real estate to intellectual estate. That's what powers the world, right? Googles are powered by intellectual estate, not the real estate. I think one of the areas is to file patents and IP, create IP and conquer the IP. Nobody can come near you, right? Today, pretty much whatever is required for energy-related things, I think we all have all the possible patents and many more in the works today. This is our energy monitoring system. You can see net zero, right? We are giving energy back to the grid. I think whatever we planned with our best of our experience running data centers around the world, we are hardly consuming energy. You can just look at it. You have a data center running. You do only less than 200 kilowatt hours per day. We have many racks of servers. We consume less than 200 kilowatt hours per day. And whatever equipment we bought is all underutilized in terms of the power equipment, UPS, transformer, everything. Okay. So we achieved much more than what we actually planned, but and we'll continue to do that, and we'll always be a green company, providing value to the customers, and of course to the environment, right? These are our customers, few of our customers, pretty much in every sector we have today. And after our experience in Aadhaar, pretty much every other country calls us to do. We have been doing advisory work, whether you like it or not. If you say no, the president of the country calls up and says, please be advisor on my board. So sometimes you don't have a choice, but we also, if you see, it's a learning opportunity to interact, So we have done after UID, Aadhaar, we did the Philippines, mostly design architecture advisory. So Philippines, we did Togo, we did Oman, we did Timor and Ethiopia, pretty much. Every other country, Morocco, every other country calls us and said, help us design something like Aadhaar for us. And that small amount of business continuing, but more like a goodwill, and it helps us to build relationships. And a lot of, I think, while meeting these people, we found a lot of, I would say, partners around the world, right? System integrators. So they became part of our ecosystem and were selling our products today. So this is our building. A lot of effort went into building. We spent 1 year in designing the building because I had set very tough goals for the architect. This is how it has to be designed. So look at the red brick. It's not a normal brick. It's a normal brick. It's a special brick which has 3 layers of air pockets. So this brick reduces the temperature by 5 degrees centigrade, 5 to 6 degrees centigrade in the building. So that helps us to reduce the energy cost in the building. Second thing is, it's an AI-driven building, completely AI-driven building. And everything is fully redundant, fully available. Probably we are the only company in Mysuru having every ISP layer fiber to our data center. I think we have got 12 links. I'm sure most of the data centers have 1 or 2. Knowing India, if you want to maintain availability, so somebody will dig a cable, cut a cable, we need to have as much redundancy as possible. Focus on building very high level redundancy. Actually, we have for a tropical country, you can achieve only 1 point. So what we talk about in the data center world is power utilization efficiency. What does it mean? When you want to power a server, you need additional power for cooling, and energy is lost in the conversion, UPS and all. Typically, if you spend 100 watts of power for the server, you need 100 watts for cooling. The best efficiency you can achieve is 50 to 60 watts in a country like India, tropical. But I think we have gone much below 1.3 right now, using our algorithms and optimization of the cooling, everything, right? So we are running at less than 1.3. There are no switches in our building. It's all automated. So we have 100% solar powered. We have both an off-grid and on-grid solution, but because we're experimenting some off-grid also to see how it works, understand that. So we do that today. So it's a fully, I think we have 600 meters of ducts in the building for sensors. Okay. So that's a brief story about, a journey at Vigyanlabs. I'll tell you, I think, about the first book. See, I had met Dr. Rishikesh. He interviewed me during the NASCOM, right, jury. I was speaking and he was jury. After a couple of months down the line, I get a call from one of the editors of the magazine. saying that there's a book launch. Are you coming? Which book launch? You please come. I said, okay, some book launches happen in Bangalore. Why you should go anywhere, right? During the book launch, somebody called me. The editor called me and they interviewed me and asked about the question in the book. I said, no, we didn't even know a book was written about us. Okay. So that's how we found Dr. Rishikesh, we came to know of that. We have been good friends, been exchanging ideas, innovation. I'm in touch with him regularly. We're trying to do something about innovation ecosystem, what to do. Second was Dr. Liz Alexander, who again interviewed because I was working with the Foundry Institute, mentoring a lot of startups. She came and interviewed us. And there's a chapter about us story in this book. Couple of books which inspired us, on the way. I think what I would like to tell you, some of the things I learned from HP, some ingrained into us, The HP way talks about the value system in the company, how to build a large company, because it started as a capacitor company in 1920s. They survived 2 world wars, right? It's been there for a long time. And the book, and the way many practices in the company, we learned a lot of good values in the company systems. Then Made in Japan was, again, another interesting book, talks about, how to build great companies. Then the Marriott way talks about more about processes. If you want to scale massively, you need to have process and procedures in place properly. Otherwise, you cannot build a scalable system, right? And if you look at in the world, anywhere you go, any Marriott you go in the world, it's pretty much impeccable, right? Standards, service qualities, uniform, right? And that book teaches that. Second one was, the other book was Winners Never Cheat. We always talk about, I come from a family of, who have been, historically priests and working in the government or mathematicians, right? And money was forbidden, right? Always used to tell, only cheat, you have to cheat to run a business. Because there are no good examples really out there. So Winners Never Cheat. There's a book about one person, nobody knows the name of the person. Hunter Douglas. He runs he's no longer there right now. He built a few $billion empire, and most of the money is given to charity. And he talks about how we refuse many cases where, when many Japanese companies wanted to bribe the government and all, but he refused. So I think if you want to learn about values, and I think this is a book to talk about. Next one was, I think, India, we don't learn about some important things, our own society and culture. I think after reading the Steve Jobs autobiography, I learned I should read this book, Autobiography of Yogi. But again, a different book. I think you need to read this book because it's more about your mind, controlling the mind. I know something which the Western world doesn't talk about, right? And if Steve Jobs was inspired by it, why not we, right? The next was, the power of positive thinking, which talks about how you can energize yourself to build and achieve goals. Next was Build to Last. I think Build to Last is another amazing book. What this book does is, the author has studied, is a professor from Harvard. He has studied 50 companies for the last 100 years and identified what are the principles on which they were built. Because technology will change, idea will change. But what your idea is, something's principle, what is everlasting is the principles and foundation on which you build. So this book analyzes, talks about values, missions, vision, how you should build how your vision should not be tied to a technology, right? I want to make the fastest phone in the world today, right? If it's a vision statement, the phone technology goes away, as we have seen. Your company is dead, right? So think of a vision which is everlasting. Example, in an automobile, I want to create the fastest mode of transport. That will be everlasting. But you say fastest mode of car, that may go away, right? So I think we need to spend a lot of time in thinking of vision. That helps us to create a vision. Because we didn't know what to do, but we had a vision statement clearly. We'll focus on creating clean and green solutions, right? That was a vision statement we made. But it's living today and will continue with us. Then, of course, other 2 books I talked about, 8 Steps to Innovation and Found. Why Mysuru, right? I think, when I left my job in Dell 2008, right? It was recession time. I don't think one single person said, you start up a company. Everybody said, what are you going to do? Who will give you money? Who will give you salary? How will you do this thing, right? I think everybody scares you, literally. And then going to Mysuru was another one. We are going to Mysuru. What the hell you are going to do from Mysuru, right? But we said, we'll go to Mysuru, we'll build and demonstrate a product from Mysuru. That was, I said, we had an aim. And, if you look at the history of Mysuru, I think recently our finance minister spoke about the inauguration of the planetarium, that, sir, amazing brain power in the city. There were great thinkers, visionaries in the city. I think this city has some something different it offers you. And if you look at, companies like Apple Hewlett Packard, they all started in a, Silicon Valley was no longer what it is today. It was a small town. And if you want to build products, you need peace of mind, solitude to build something, right? Think. In Bangalore, what happens, at least I used to be there in Bangalore, drive to Electronic City or Whitefield. First thing you reach the office, how much time you spend in the Silk Board Junction, Marthalle Bridge, you spend 1 hour. And the evening, if you leave after 6:15, Marthalle Bridge will be choked. Or Silk Bridge, will be choked. So when you are in a no mood to think, right? You are coming to the office tired and you are in evening in a hurry to go. So I used to spend 4 hours a day commuting. When I moved to Mysuru, I got extra 4 hours, right? That's a big thing, right? Over a time of years, that 4 hours adds up, right? I think Mysuru has a great weather. We have a great quality of life. Literally no traffic jams, right? And there are good education institutions here. We all studied here. And I think there's a lower cost of living here, much significantly lower than Bangalore. If you put up all these things together, I think Mysuru offers a wonderful value proposition, which is sort of not known to people outside. And we have found it the hard way. And a couple of things, in the world of unicorns and decacorns, I want to tell something few people. I think one of the fundamental principles of any business is to focus on ethics and values, build trust. Nobody buys technology. They buy something because they trust you, right? Focus on building trust and values. And I think enforce the values in the company. I think, what people do is nobody listens to you. People look at what you do and observe. Just like a kid observes what you do at home, office people observe what you do. And you have to demonstrate the values by everything you do, right? Day in and out. Second important thing is, I think, as a society, as a country, except for the people coming to the business committee, nobody enters as cash flows. They think I'll alter. You outsource the thing to alter. I say few things in my life you should never outsource: your wealth and health. Right? You should take care of yourself, right? Your wealth is yours, your health is yours. Don't outsource these two things. And I think talent is there. I think we always say complain, there's no talent. I think, you never get anything ready-made. I think at least we found that, to build a product, in at least the technology industry, we have created a services industry where customer tells you what to do. If customer doesn't do, you don't do anything, right? Or you do tickets, I close 2 tickets. So people coming from such background, they can't think of products because they've been ingrained. It's not that there's nothing wrong with them, but they have been trained and, the brain is networked that way to just do whatever customer says. But in the product company, if you try to do whatever customer says every time, you will end up something else, building. I think it's very hard even today in India to find people with product knowledge, right? Very few, unless they're going to start up on their own. I think you need to hire and build talent, right? Hire the smart people and build talent, build the capabilities. And next thing is, somebody will say that, I think every problem is your own. You can never extrapolate. You read a book, I think no book gives you a solution. Books gives you a framework. You need to solve your own problems, right? Your problems are so specific to you. No guru will come and help you. They can advise you, but the problem you have to solve yourself, Don't think a magic potion will come someday and you can become, miracle will happen, no. Behind every miracle, there's decades of hard work and sweat. And I think keep everything simple. Don't complicate matters. Keep simple. And many times I feel in India, people are confused between product and service. I'll do everything. You have to be clear, one. Product is different mindset, service is different mindset. You can't do both. Or you have different teams, completely different teams, but do only one. And everybody says you must have, people see in Shark Tanks, your market fit rate is not ready. As if the Shark Tank, they just knew what is it, right? No, nobody knows it, right? If you're building something new, innovative, you have to figure out. If Steve Jobs had done, a product fit for iPhone would have never been made. I think you have to sometimes think beyond yourself and try to push it, right? So again, the combination of marketing, branding, to make your things work, right? And you have to tweak a little bit here and there. Last but not the least, right? Never give up. I think I've just read about all the big companies in the world, the entrepreneurs in the 1900s, 1800s. When you go to Faraday, Edison did 50,000 experiments to succeed. So I think every time you make something, is successful or a failure. If you learn from a failure, success you move on. I think one thing of mark of a successful entrepreneur is never give up. And you have to keep trying, right? The moment you give, you're no longer an entrepreneur. Some of the quotes are taken from Swami Vivekananda. I think I never read these things course in the school days, but I started reading a lot of other books. He said, if you read through Swami Vivekananda's books, he has an amazing insight about entrepreneurs, right? Entrepreneurs, business, values. You'll be quite surprised, how much insight he had about, If you do anything outstanding, people would say junk or garbage, right? It's fine, I think, You only thing is you introspect yourself, check whether it's right or wrong. If you think you believe in it, just ignore the noise and move ahead, right? I want to stop leaving you this statement, okay? I think one of my friends, close friends, and the Zoho founder, Kumar and Shida tell me that, you live, breathe, right? Whatever you do, trying to do, right? You're trying to build an organization, build a product, you live and breathe it. I think you can't be, part-time, I'll do part-time, doesn't work. You have to put all your energy behind to make anything successful, right? Whether it's anything, sports, game, anything do, unless you put your 100%, 101% behind it, it's not going to be successful, right? Yeah. And, thank you. Thank you. So, yeah.
Thank you, sir. It was indeed a very good session. It was pleasure to listen to you, and also we could see the pressure you have undergone to achieve all these milestones, sir. Thank you. Next, I would call Kushal to carry out the Q&A session.
Hello, good evening, everybody. Thanks for your great session, sir. Very inspiring. I have some quick questions. So to begin with, me being in edtech space and starting with engineering education, we keep telling our students that if you are an engineer, you must have a home lab to run your personal experiments. And we've seen that you've been doing that from the school age itself, and that's what has helped you become a fantastic technology entrepreneur. So can you emphasize more on the importance of experimentation from the very early ages?
I think one thing you look at, look at the Western world and India, we are too much theoretical. Unless you get your hands dirty, you can never solve a real life problem, right? Which is important, theory of a motor, theory of, transformer, that's theory only. It's there in the books, exam, pass the exam. I think you need to get your hands dirty. So whatever little you can do, right? You want to understand electric motors, maybe today it's a 5 rupees, a 50 rupees motor. Please get a motor, try it out, play it with your hands. I think today, many of the education institutions and the Atal Innovation Lab, there are a lot more things. But in yourself, personally, you can buy a lot more things, right? Lot more things, small things, you can tinker around, play around. I think unless you look at the Western world, why did Edison come in? Edison, Faraday, Tesla, why didn't have Edison, Faraday, Tesla here? Because only talking theory, right? I think unless you get your hands dirty, you will never be able to get a hand of the real problem, you will never be able to solve problems, right? Although we are great spiritually, but physically we could never create anything, right? I think it's slowly changing now. I think today, we can afford a lot more things. When we were there, we wanted to do many things, but we didn't have money. I think today there's a lot more money, but less people trying to do things, right? I think the only way to, inculcate the habit is, whatever little you can, try out. You want to study about electrical machines, you want to study about lenses, you can buy small things, do a small experiment at home, you can have a lab. Otherwise, you will never learn anything, right? Today, I saw one of the startups talking about a STEM airplane, I think, right? I think with whatever little money you have, resource you have, you need to try to experiment. If your school has a lab, go and use it. And find out a lab, I'm sure there'll be a lot of people willing to go and help, right? Example, when the computer came in, I read about computers, never seen a computer in life, right? In the 1980s. So just found out in 1983, the DMS had got a BBC Micro. Okay. I spoke to the headmaster there and said, please give me 1 hour a week. So every week, Saturday I used to go 1 hour and learn programming there, right? I think there are resources available. You go and make a request, you can get it, right? If you can't afford one, you can always borrow, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Great, thanks for that answer, sir. I think experiential learning has been most accessible and affordable than ever before, and you're mentioning the same too. Thank you. The second is for a first-time founder startup, there will be full of mistakes, right? Some will be small, some will be embarrassing, some will be catastrophic. So if you can go back to 2008, what were those 3 mistakes that you could possibly fix so that you could have had a better jump start?
I think, see, we had made many more mistakes before that. One was 1991, I didn't patent it, fine, first one. Second thing, in 2003, actually, we were ready to start up. I think, myself, couple of friends, about 15 of us in India and 5-6 of our US. We had done the business plan, everything was ready. That day, I had gone to a place in Bangalore. I told that, our team will resign tomorrow. I'll go and pay the advance, take the building, 50-seater in Madiwala. Everything was done. Planned. Sequoia was there to give us a few $1 million, right?
Okay.
Then went home. See the noise, right? The 9/11 happened, right?
Right.
Then Sequoia didn't pick up the phone for few weeks, right? And after that, my friends in US had left the job. Okay. They somehow survived. Luckily, we hadn't resigned the jobs. And you know what happened? There was a big recession for a year, right? So the lesson learned from there, live within your means, have enough money to survive, right? Don't start a business with a VC in mind from day one. That's the biggest lesson we learned, right? Have your own funds. So that's why we started doing some consulting work even today. So I think it gives you some funds. You need to have a cash flow in mind, right? The moment you leave your job or you're out of your parents, don't ask money for your parents. You need to figure out. One thing about fundamental business is about earning money and spending money, right? You get 10 rupees, spend 8 rupees, 5 rupees. You can't spend more than what you get, right? So that's why we learned us about managing your finances better. Save enough money before you leave your job, because you don't know, right? How long you're, when you may start making money. To take 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, right?
Right.
That's one. I think other one was, a mistake. I think was we thought energy was itself a great thing, but when we did a revenue sharing, it was eye opener during the COVID time. So don't depend on one big business. If it's a big one, so I think our revenues came down by 50% in 2018-19. We didn't even lay off anybody. We borrowed some funds and reinvented ourselves. Reinvented the cloud. I think we record time 1 year. We built a cloud technology, rest of the products in the and then I think so don't bet on a single horse, because things go wrong, right?
Right.
And there are many other companies we reinvented, right? Ola, the business went down. They made a Ola scooter. I think when things, I think you have to look at the market conditions and reinvent yourself, right? For example, HP starts a capacitor company. Today it is making something else, right? Apple starts a Macintosh company. You have to reinvent yourself periodically, because the market changes, the customer requirement changes, the business, regulations, so many things change, right?
Right.
Those are next learning, right? Third learning, I see, some things I think which we don't do in India, we don't market ourselves, because we have been told you should not boast yourself again and again, right? And you will study the P&L of every American product company. 40 to 50% is spent on marketing and sales. India, I saw 10%, 15%. I'm sorry. If you want to brand, that much money is not enough. You need to spend significantly on marketing and branding. Because why do you buy iPhone? It's a brand. Why don't you buy some XYZ phone? No. Right? There was a Micromax, there was a thing, we died, right? Of course, along with innovation, you need a lot of branding. You need to spend a lot of marketing and branding. Without marketing and branding, you can't go global. Why do American products command a premium? Because of brand value. As a country, we have a very, very, very low brand value, right?
Right. So focus on bootstrapping in the beginning, manage your cash flow, and do not put all your investment onto one single horse. And lastly, nobody's going to ring your bells. You have to blow your own whistles and blow your own trumpets. Great. You were speaking about Shark Tank and the influence that it has had, and with emptiness and joblessness for students during pandemic, many students come to me and ask, I want to start a startup. And Srinidhi, if you can play the video. So there's a small clipping of what's happening to them, and I want to hear your thoughts.
أكل فقيرة أمك.
So there are many events which are helping students to go from 0 to 1, but 1 to 10, very tough. So how can we tackle this? How do you motivate students?
I think, so first thing is, first thing I said is have patience, Nothing is going to happen tomorrow, right? It's a journey, right? The business is entrepreneurship is a journey. I need to be prepared for the long haul. Don't give up. First thing is to tell, stories of people who've been there, done it, right? I said, that's why read the book, Built to Last. It's an amazing book, anecdotes of all the top companies in the world. Apple, Google, Motorola, IBM, Dell, HP, right? So it talks about journey. People put so much of hard effort and energy over time. They overcome through obstacles like wars, right? They went through 2-3 wars, right?
Right.
First World War, Second World War, recessions, upteen recessions, currency fluctuations. So many things people went through. And if they could build companies which are on a double-digit growth for 100 years, it's amazing, right? So I think I would say that's a very inspiring book to talk about the real stories, how people build long-term, how people have come through obstacles, right?
Right.
But I think everybody needs to aim for the moon, but it takes time to reach it, right? It can't happen tomorrow. It will have a ambitious goal, but you need to work towards it, right? Nothing is going to come, right? Nobody is going to give $1 billion tomorrow. You will not become a unicorn tomorrow, right? Just because somebody liked it, right? You have to earn it.
Right.
I think that's what you need to tell the youngster, that you have to earn it, right?
Right.
Nothing is going to be given free for you.
Right. So there has to be great internal drive.
This should be inner, we call it entrepreneurial, right? It should be drive to achieve something, and you have to work towards it.
Right. Okay, great. So I think those are my questions. We can take some questions from the audience. Yes, Harsha sir, please.
First of all, I think you have done a great disservice by not being a brand promoter of yourself. Nobody, you should, for the kind of thing that you have done, the Mysuru, like for last 3 years in TiE Mysuru, we missed you very badly. I am very angry at both you and TiE Mysuru. This is really, really from my bottom of my heart. In fact, please do more. Please help us more. With the kind of things, you should be putting 70 or 700 patents. I know that the kind of inventions you have done, it deserves it. And the other thing is, from startup to scale, now I come to the question. It looks like from the startup to the scale-up journey, was there anywhere because of your XPC? I also had a similar experience in 2001. I had 3 job offers, and then all 3 went away because of the 9/11, right? I am also from JC. But because of that experience, have you become too cautious? Have you not accepted the VC money? Because for the kind of things that you have built, you should be a unicorn now. There is no doubt. Have you not scaled up? That is my only question. Considering the kind of products, the kind of things that have been done, have you not accepted VC money because of the experience that you had? That is the only reason I can think. Otherwise, you should be a unicorn now. There is no question.
I think, you need to pivot at the right time, take the money at the right time, right? No point in giving money, right? Today with the cloud business, probably is roaring like anything. So we look at the cloud market is a $1 trillion market by next 10 years. We'll be one of the big guys in the world. We're just taking a head on Amazon, AWS. I say, hell to Amazon, hell to AWS. Come to our cloud, right? I think our cloud, I can't divulge you, there's a fairly large, significant part of the cloud is going to be in Mysuru, and Mysuru is going to be the hub of the cloud in India today. We'll probably see paper and media announcement soon. Because of the confidentiality, I can't talk about it right now, but you will just see in a couple of weeks or months, a lot of things coming in the media out, yeah.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Such a humble person, but a very bold, optimistic mindset. Thank you. Next question. Yes, Sabrishan sir.
I knew the tip of your iceberg when you made a pitch at TiECon 2019. Harsha, I don't know whether you were there, but that was only a tip of the iceberg. Today we saw the iceberg. No, we didn't fund him. But I'm saying, for an awe-inspiring presentation like this, today the iceberg is visible. And he should have been a multi-con, not unicorn, maybe multi-con. But that is where I think the value, he's rooted in the value system. And I think this is typical of Mysuru. We have many such iconic, truly brilliant people who don't wish to go tom-tomming about like you are one of them. It took us some time to get to know what you do, and fantastic. So there are so many people like this in Mysuru. So I was after him for some time to come and do this here, because I knew that there is something that will give us goosebumps, and it truly gave goosebumps. Wonderful, Srinivas. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I have no question. I don't know what question to ask.
Thank you, Sabrishan sir. I think that's all the time that we have for today's Q&A. We can catch up Srini sir during our networking dinner. Thank you for the wonderful opportunity that has TiE even given to me today. Thank you.
Thank you, Kushal. Next, I call Mr. Sudhanva sir to hand over the memento as a token of appreciation.
Please, on stage.
A quick announcement from TiE. A big event coming up next month on the 15th of April. We have the great pleasure of having Colin Hughes. Colin Hughes is a very big name in the media and publishing in the UK, and he will be speaking on a very, very important topic, opportunities for growth in UK. So such of the companies looking for opportunities in UK should hear him. An excellent speaker. He was with the Independent, the Guardian, and the HarperCollins. And of course, he is one of the UK's largest assessment brand of AQA. So he'll be with us. An excellent program. I request all the members, associate members, all the members to be present on that day and hear him out for the opportunities in UK. Thank you.
Okay, good evening. Well, Pawan earlier mentioned that he was between you and dinner. I'm the real villain. So I'll try to make this quick. So all of you would know the story, the background story. Pradeep did allude to the fact that Mysore happens to be the only chapter in Karnataka who has taken up the initiative of actually running this show. So we had close to about 100 pitches that came in initially when we announced the TiE University PitchFest across Karnataka, representing about 17 universities, which was whittled down to about 60 after the initial screening. And then after the during the semi-finals, it came down to about 20 of them. And the final shootout ended up with the 5 teams that we had today. Obviously, it takes a lot of background work for all of these things to come together. A lot of people would have played various roles in making it happen. I'll mention the key people who have, well, in terms of roles, not really their names, who actually pulled it all together. My sincere thanks to, first of all, the jury for being here and making it all happen. Next is the gentleman out there, the tall gentleman, the tallest of us all, who has spent a lot of time and effort along with his team in actually stringing a whole lot of things together to make this show happen, right from the inception until the last date. Raghu, thanks to you and your team. Sincere appreciation to all the mentors for taking up the onerous responsibility of walking the teams through how they need to be prepared for the show. Very sincere appreciations to all the TiE CMs, AMs, and the student members who have all come together to make this event happen today. Thanks to all the institute for taking a very active part in preparing their students for the same. Thanks to TiE partners, associates, all the people who have actually helped us make this event happen today. And very importantly, Srini, thanks for coming down and making this event a scintillating one. You know, there's this gade in Kannada, Angayal tuppa itkondu Angayal benne itkondu tuppu kudukodru anta. So I think we've been guilty of probably calling you very late, but I think anyway, thanks for being here. and giving us a very rousing talk about your achievements. Finally, the Sutradhar, Shiv Shankar, who has led from the front in making this happen. Sudhanma? Missing? Okay. Oh, yeah. I'll invite Sudhanma to be here and give a token of appreciation to the Sutradhar. Shiv Shankar, please. And also, very sincere thanks to our Executive Director, Mahesh, who is always there. At least one handshake. Thanks, Mahesh, for being there and making it happen. All right. Thank you, everyone. Good night.